Well, hello there all you absolutely magnificent people, and welcome back to another live stream of An Ecologist Plays, where we talk about nature while playing games. Now, tonight is going to be a bit of a different stream, so we have got a live stream going, but of course, as you will notice, it is just myself here. Nick is unfortunately feeling a bit quite under the weather. She is recovering from probably bronchitis, so not doing too well, but she is around. But I decided also that it may be best for her just to give tonight a skip so that she can recover properly. And then hopefully next week we are going to have a live stream on Saturday though, not Sunday, but I will tell you a bit more about that as we go along. But yeah, then Nick will be back for that live stream as well. All right, but tonight, since we don't have we're not going to continue with Icarus, we are going to be doing Beyond Blue, which is currently free on the Epic Games Store. So yeah, if you haven't gotten it yet, it really is an amazing game, and it is free until this coming Thursday. I see Fireduck is in the chat. Hello there, Fireduck. Welcome to the stream. Glad you are here, and welcome everybody to another live stream. Right, now the music is currently off. I think it is because it is probably a copyrighted track that would have played here. So we are going to just jump in and actually start a new game. There is a storyline here, and it explores. I see Justaberry's also here. Hello there, Justaberry. Welcome to the stream. The storyline is going to follow a pod of sperm whales, if I remember correctly. I haven't played this game in 2 years, so I'm a little bit rusty, but we'll carry on try to do our best. Now, I do love marine ecology. That is one of the subjects I also lecture, is one of the ecology subjects kind of focuses on aquatic ecology, from freshwater down to the ocean. And well, what's not to love about the ocean? I mean, there are so many awesome creatures in there, and let's learn a little bit more about them as we carry on here in Beyond Blue. So really an awesome game. Alrighty. And of course, inspired by Blue Planet 2, which was just an amazing documentary with Sir David Attenborough in there as well.
I'm generally not a woo-woo kind of person. If I don't get something, I want to unpack it, get the facts. But the ocean, it's a part of me. You could say it runs in my blood. My grandmother was a freediver, an ama. She helped me feel its rhythm and understand how one breath could last a lifetime. We dove so often, the memories all run together.
Look at those sperm
Except
whales.
one. When I wished I could stay down forever.
Must be an amazing experience, seeing these gentle, well, relatively gentle giants eye to eye.
The ocean cast its spell on me that day. And its mystery still consumes me.
Yeah, I mean, an encounter like that almost certainly would make a marine biologist out of most people, eh? That's for sure. Let's see. Oh man, I can't wait to get into the ocean here. It really is a truly fascinating game. I mean, I can't wait to actually dive in again.
Day 1, submerged atoll, Western Pacific. It's great to be diving again. I'm anxious to find our sperm whale family and look in on our mother-to-be. I'm also excited to test out Andre's new tech. Ocean X is expecting a huge audience for our first live stream, given how bad things were in this region a few years ago. No pressure though. Ready to dive.
Alright, so we are technically doing live streams in the game as well. So we are basically live streaming the dive so people all over the world can technically see that. And that is just, I think, amazing. I believe we are free diving. We're not with scuba tanks, but I do believe we have got gear that actually allows us to rebreathe. So we don't have to have scuba tanks. We can just stay under there for basically indefinite amount of time. Alright, let's jump right in, shall we? Sharkies! Oh, yes. Maybe some angelfish over there as well. A manta ray. Oh, I love manta rays. Would love to see one in real life. And here we are. Okay, of course, looking around.
Dang right. How's the new suit?
Nice. A bit itchy, but I've had worse.
How are you breathing?
Breathing easy. This rebreather is amazing. Feels
Because
like
it
I'm
is a
freediving.
rebreather.
A genuine compliment. Should have caught that on the live stream.
Give me a few minutes. I want it to be amazing, and I'm still getting used to this AR visor.
Okay. Right, so basically swim to the waypoint. That is a massive manta ray that is over there. But, I mean, you can look around here and you can see all kinds of amazing creatures here. We've got, right over here in the middle of our light, that appears to be possibly some kind of brain coral. I'm not 100% sure there. But there is also, or there were, a whole bunch, I believe, sponges. Right over here, these pinkish things over here would be some kind of sponge that we can also see here. So sponges are filter feeders. I previously, in the Icarus live stream, incorrectly said they are cnidarians. They're not cnidarians. They're not part of the jellyfish group. They are in the order, or the phylum Porifera, which are sponges. Okay, so they would basically, they're completely unrelated. They're invertebrates, and they've been around for a very, very long time. Some of the first more complex animals we had in the oceans back in the day would have been sponges. I mean, they are quite amazing creatures, but relatively simple in their design. Right, we are going to just go up. I believe that manta ray is, yeah, it is in fact swimming. To just watch her get ripped apart by sharks. I just imagine that. Oh man, that would be quite a quick end to our live stream. And yes, indeed, Firedark, a bit of inception happening here, a bit of diveception. So we can also just equip a scanner, which will allow us to actually then scan and figure out what this animal is. A Chilean devil ray. Ah, yes. Now, they're not devilish at all. They are very, very gentle creatures. I don't recall anybody actually having been attacked necessarily by a manta ray, even though they really are massive. I mean, that mouth you can see there, that is just, it's a filter feeder.
Done. How many scans before the AI is trained on a creature?
It will vary. There are many factors that affect the confidence level of a match.
So you don't know. Got it.
Okay.
Now point me to the buoy so I can try the hydrophones. I want to make sure all the tech is working before we stream.
Okay, we'll head there in a moment. But I mean, you can see there, the mouth there
Marina,
opens
how
up.
you feeling?
Haven't thrown up today.
Mariah's talking a lot.
You gonna be okay with the live stream?
I may let you do most of the talking.
Once you reach the buoy, you can triangulate the sound of any animal.
Clever.
Thank you.
That'll be lovely. Some acoustics as well. Alright, are you guys done talking? I think so. Alright, so this is of course a filter feeder, and you can kind of see the little appendages in front there. I believe that is to actually funnel water into the mouth, and that then water exits out the mouth or out the gills, and of course then they will filter food particles out. So teeny tiny little things, plankton and maybe some small fish, will be filtered out by this manta ray or this devil ray over here. I believe it is known as devil ray because of those two little protrusions around its mouth, kind of, especially from above, kind of resembling like little devil horns. Yeah, oh, absolutely lovely. We'll talk a bit more about them as we go on. We are first going to just quickly swim over to that buoy over there. Let's see, I see Firedark also says, wish they had this scanner in real life. All the weird bugs they found could really finally get an ID. Oh yes, thankfully we do have some amazing tools to actually help us identify bugs and stuff. iNaturalist is one that I use a lot. Almost every day, at least once, I am on iNaturalist. Especially when I'm editing videos and stuff, I tend to go in there quite a lot.
That's close enough. You can use your dive watch to control the buoy from there.
Alright, so now we are going to pick up some animal sounds, it seems.
Refresh me on the controls.
Move the targeting circle around. Each sound will get louder when you are close to locking in on an animal's location.
There's something there. Okay, some bottlenose dolphins. Yeah, those clicks. You can hear those clicks quite nicely. There's something there as well. Ooh, a sperm whale. Also, the echolocation there. And then something over there as well. I do see there is also a comment by Justaberry. What eats them? So what would eat these manta rays? When they're small, they would be eaten quite a bit by sharks, and I would guess also orcas. The killer whales definitely would go for them. But when they are like really large, very few things would really get a grip on them. Orcas probably would. What is that sound that we're hearing there? Oh, humpback whales. Ah yes, okay.
Mariah, if you're okay, I'm going to start the live stream.
Let's roll. Welcome to the Ocean X live stream. I'm Dr. Mirai Soto, and I'll be your eyes and ears on this expedition. I'm joined today by two colleagues.
Hello, I'm Andre.
Hello, everyone. I'm Irina.
Alright. So yeah, those manta rays or those devil rays, they would be, of course, killed by orcas. In coordinated attacks against this, they don't really stand a chance. And I would hazard to guess even things like large great whites will be able to take them out, especially when attacking from below, but generally very, very few predators. Once they reach adulthood, only real thing they have to worry about would be humans, of course, fishing them. And some people do like fishing for manta rays, but I believe there have been a few deaths associated with that, because these manta rays, when they're caught, they very often will actually flop out of the water or jump out of the water, and in essence then they have the chance of landing on the person that caught them and killing them in the process. I mean, you can imagine a fish this size landing on a person, they don't really stand a chance. Right, so let's see, we are in the map, we are right over there, there's bottlenose dolphins over there, there's a sperm whale over there, and I believe humpback whale over there. Okay. Not sure what exactly we've got to go do. Maybe we've got to head out too. Let's go to the sperm whale first. Oh, we've got to scan the dolphins apparently. Dolphins were... Where were they? There's the humpback whale. There's the sperm whale. Dolphins? Oh, here we go. Blind as a bat, guys. Blind as a bat. Although bats actually have very good vision. Blind as a mole. Oh, is it bottlenose dolphins? Oh, brilliant. Recently saw some bottlenose dolphins.
Jealous, folks, just because I'm swimming with dolphins.
Yeah,
my
we're swimming with the
grandmother
dolphins.
always warned me that although they're cute, they can also be pranksters.
Mm-hmm.
And today, also very noisy.
Can your AI parse through all those sounds?
Not using this scanner. But I do have a new drone design that should be better at isolating the source of the sounds.
Ah, there's the fifth one. I was wondering where is the fifth one. There was one bottlenose dolphin there and some three over there. All adults, no babies with this pod of dolphins. Oh, we have already scanned this one. Which one haven't we scanned? There's one that we haven't scanned. That one we have, that one we have, and that one we have. So where's dolphin number 5? Is it that one there? Maybe it's that one there, over there that I missed. Killer whales are the assholes of the ocean. Yeah, indeed. They are really, really good at what they do. There we go.
And maybe next time I can weigh in before on the number that we need to scan.
As I mentioned, the confidence model is
Beautiful.
complex. You just want to find the whales.
Guilty.
So as we're swimming here with the dolphins, though, and I'm sure Mariah is going to start talking again in a moment, but once they actually turn the right way around, you'll be able to see the blowhole on top, which is basically the nostrils of the whales and dolphins of the cetaceans. So you can see their little hole. Come on, I need to swim closer to get to the blowhole there. Maybe I can get to this one over there. But you can kind of see the hole on the top of the head there. That is the blowhole. Those are the nostrils that both of them have migrated to the top of the head to make it easier to breathe. Just very easily get to the surface of the ocean and blow out and blow in, and basically exhale and inhale in the process. So, I mean, having nostrils on the front of the mouth wouldn't necessarily make sense. Having it on the top of the head and being able to close it when you are underwater, that is an amazing adaptation that they had. And it wasn't present in the initial ancestors of whales and dolphins, Ambulocetus, for example. And I think, what was it? There was one from, I think, Pakistan as well, a cetacean from over there as well. Pachycetus, I think, was a genus of cetacean, one of the early cetaceans. That and Ambulocetus, meaning walking whale. They were on land mostly, semi-amphibious, would have gone into the water a bit as well, but their nostrils would have been, proper place at the front of the head, and it wouldn't have looked like this at all. Both of them still had legs. And then eventually they decided, you know what, we're going to go into the ocean, because there were amazing niches open. So they decided, why not go and fill those niches in the ocean? Alright, let's have a look here. Let's have a look at the sperm whale, I think, next.
That looks to be a sperm whale.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw this bull from the sub. I wonder how far he's traveled.
Once we have a reliable ID on him, I'll see if anyone has tracked him before.
Nice.
Notice there, that is the blowhole that is right in front there. Can we have a good look at it? Okay, it's turning around. Right in front on the top of the melon, on the front part of the sperm whale's head, that is in fact where the blowhole is. You can kind of see it moving a little bit, opening and closing slightly. We'll talk a bit more about the sperm whale, why on earth it has such a weird shape. But it is quite amazing, and we will talk about that in a moment. These are, of course, toothed whales. They're not baleen whales. They don't have baleen plates that they use to filter out food. These guys will be grappling with squids, in essence, mostly. And they will use their teeth to actually grip onto the squid and then swallow it. But how do we know this is a bull? Well, there are no other individuals in the area. And bulls tend to stay away from other sperm whales. They are largely solitary, only really going to other pods when they're trying to mate with some of the females. females and their calves will stay together for a long time. Females will actually nurse their calves for up to 10 years. So, I mean, yeah, humans, we stay in our parents' house for 18 years, if our parents are lucky, sometimes 40 years, sometimes 50 years. But these guys, not too bad with 10 years that they stay with their parents as well. Or the calves stay with their parents. That's quite cool. Yeah, you can see quite a few marks here. Now, the marks that we see here may be from squid, but I would actually guess that most of these marks are made by other sperm whales, fighting with one another. You may see, I can't see any, there may be some marks that are like sucker marks. Those would be left behind by squids, or the giant squid and the colossal squid. But those scrape marks you see along there, most likely made by the teeth of other sperm whales, especially bulls fighting with one another for access to the females. So yeah, they can be quite aggressive towards other individuals of the same species. Alright, too smart for their own good, the killer whales. They are amazingly smart, really, really intelligent. Many cetaceans are in fact very, very smart. And just looking at brain size, the sperm whale wins. It has the largest brain of any living creature on Earth. It's about 5 or 6 times the size of a human brain. Now, considering this creature is more than 5 or 6 times our size, proportionately it's less than our brain is, it's brain size to us. But it has a massive, massive brain, and it is located, not sure whether I can show, right, shoot straight through here. That's where it would be, right behind the big melon of the sperm whale. Yes, I wanted to scan the sperm whale. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. Let's do that, shall we? Macrocephalus is the scientific, or the genus, or the species name there. So macro meaning large, cephalus is head. So they literally went, you know what, this is a whale with a big head. We shall call it Macrocephalus. Because why not? Sometimes the names are amazingly descriptive. I do just want to quickly check, what are these bottlenose dolphins' names? Truncatus, truncate means bitten off. I guess it is because their snout is actually quite short. The rostrum, the front part of their snout, of their mouth, is actually quite blunt. Whereas some other species have got quite long snouts, these ones are kind of, looks bitten off. So truncatus, referring to bitten off, or truncate, meaning bitten off. Quite cool. Animals go crazy when it comes to mating. Oh, indeed, indeed. They tend to become either very brightly colored or very aggressive. A whole bunch of stuff happening. It's quite cool. We will talk a lot about that in this live stream, and of course in future live streams as well. I tend to joke with my first years when I see them the first time, the first few lectures. I tell them, listen guys, you're going to be doing ecology now with me, and ecology is basically about sex and death. That's the majority of the things we talk about in ecology would be either reproduction or death, or in the case of a mantis, both at the same time. Oh, look at this, we've got 2 individuals here. Hello there. Almost looks like a mother and oldish calf. This does look like a calf.
Looks like we've got our first singer.
Fantastic. Hopefully on your next dive you can record his song to compare with other humpbacks in the area.
Fun fact, in addition to being an engineering whiz, Andre is quite the musician. Are you still writing music?
Not for years.
Dry spell?
More like raising teenagers. Hey Mirai, I'm seeing alerts on the South Buoy if you want to pull them down.
Okay, let's see what mysteries this buoy unlocks.
Alright, we'll head there in a moment, but I also wanted to show you the scientific name of the humpback whale. You'll see there it is Megaptera novae anglae. Mega, massive. Ptera, with that P there, is wing. So it means massive wing. Nova Anglae is Latin for New England. So this is the New England massive wing. That's what the humpback whale name means. Really, really quite awesome. I mean, I love taxonomy and the description of names, or what the names mean, the etymology of the names. And of course the singing there to communicate with other individuals. Oh, really amazing creatures. I don't believe I have officially seen a humpback whale in my life yet. I've seen lots of southern right whales. That's the whale species we have a lot of here on the south coast of Africa. That's the main species I have seen. I have seen orca, although they're technically dolphins. They're closer to dolphins than they are to true whales. But I don't believe I've ever seen... Oh, I've seen one other whale, the bride's whale or brooder's whale, depending on how you want to pronounce that. That is also a filter feeding, but it actually filters out fish most often, and it comes sometimes quite close to shore. I've seen one of those. It was really, really cool. Most of the time, though, we see southern right whales here where I am. Never have I officially seen a humpback whale. Alright, then, let's have a look over there. I see Fireduck also mentions the mantids and some spiders. Yes, indeed, things like the widow spiders. They very often, after mating or during mating, the female eats the male, although it is sometimes a little bit over-glorified or over-represented. People say, oh, widows, they eat the males, but only sometimes. They don't always eat the males. Only if they are really hungry, they will do that. And in some cases, with orb weavers, for example, they may eat the male. Other times they leave the male, and once that male has actually mated 2 or 3 times, he just kind of allows himself to be eaten. So it's like, you know what, I think I've passed my genes on, now would be a good time to just end it and literally go out with a bang. Let's see. Pterodactyl from Fireduck, yes, that means wing finger. Terra is wing and dactyl is fingers, so wing finger. Whenever you see that terra, you know that that refers something. It's something to do with wing. Let's see. And same thing with us in puberty, says Just a Berry as well. Yeah, humans get kind of crazy the moment we hit puberty. Let's see, what have we got here? Apparently there's something there apart from the whales. There's some kind of sensor alarm going off. Okay. And something over there. A sensor tag. Okay, and something over there. Sperm whale family. Oh, we're going to have a look at them in a moment. And then there's also something over there. Juvenile dolphins. I think that is it. Yeah, that is indeed it.
What does that sound? Did I break something?
I've deployed acoustic modems to transmit from other sensors.
For those of you who have no idea what he's talking about, he means we use sound to transmit data. So we can have Wi-Fi in the ocean.
That's quite cool.
Impressive. What kind of bandwidth do we get?
Probably very slow.
Like 1990s dial-up.
Yeah, there we go. As we are heading to that sensor over there, we do also have some triggerfish over here. I love triggerfish. There we go, the clown triggerfish. And I don't really have much to say about them at the moment. They are beautiful though. As you can see, there are quite a lot of blotches on them. That is most likely a form of disruptive camouflage to try and break up the outline of these little fishies. But what I do love about triggerfish is that when I just met my wife, no, before she was my wife, we just started dating. We went to Cape Town, or I went to Cape Town with a friend of ours, and a friend of mine at that time, and she had lived in that area for quite a while, and she told me now I must go to that one brewery called Triggerfish Microbrewers, and we went there, had a beer, and I brought the beer back to her as well, just as one of the first gifts I gave her. You know, triggerfish, I absolutely love these ones. I see Paleo Potato is also here. Hello there, Paleo Potato. Welcome to the second stream in a row, and Bob as well. Hello there. Yes, this is really an amazing game. I love it. It's beautiful. I mean, you can also, apart from just playing the storyline, you can also just kind of swim around peacefully. There are also even little documentaries involved, or in the game here, which is really awesome as well. And then I also see, yes, Fireduck also mentions Chiroptera. Forgot what Chiro means. I believe it means hand. So Chiroptera, those are bats. Bats, the scientific name, or the family name there, or order name actually, not family name. The order name Chiroptera means hand wing. So it's quite cool. I love it. I love it when you can figure out what on earth names mean. Let's see. Right, love these little things. Okay, let's head on over to that sensor. We can swim a little bit faster. Actually, you know what, let's scan what we've got here. I don't know what we've got here. Tricolored parrotfish. Oh, parrotfish are quite cool. A lot of them will be feeding on coral. They've got quite hardened beaks, or front, mouth parts. That's why they are called parrotfish, because it kind of resembles the mouth of a parrot. And they will use that to actually break the coral up. And they eat that, and then they poop out, basically sand. A lot of sandy beaches in tropical environments actually are made by things like that parrotfish we saw there. We're just going to dive down. There is an awesome critter right up there. We are going to have a look at it in a moment, I think. For now, though, we're just going to come and have a look at the scanner that is down here, the sensor.
Biochemical emittance triggered this whole area.
Because of me. Not because of me, but because I configured the sensors to detect stress in the coral population.
Okay, let's find out what's causing that stress.
Mirai, please collect biosamples from any of the distressed corals.
Happy to oblige.
Okay.
For those watching, these sensors help us understand what leads to resiliency in coral so we can help breed it into other species.
Some species would be more resilient to stresses, and the thing is, with coral reefs, I think the thing we are most worried about is actually ocean acidification, because as that happens, you have got coral bleaching happening, which basically is a result of things like the zooxanthellae. I think that's the correct pronunciation. I always pronounce it zooxanthellae, but it is zooxanthellae, which are little algal cells living within the coral bodies. They photosynthesize, they help the coral survive, and they are susceptible to acidification. And as a result, the coral actually loses its color, and it becomes white, and then they battle, and eventually they may disappear from large areas. I think the Great Barrier Reef in Australia has experienced massive depletion in some areas, massive bleaching, and as a result a loss of coral in a massive area. I see Paleo Potato also mentions this reminds them of the old Endless Ocean games for the Wii, which they loved. I never had a Wii, nor have I actually played the Endless Ocean games, though I am sure I would have absolutely loved that. I love all these types of exploration games. Abzu is another game that is actually on my list also to still play. I have got it when it was free in Epic Games, but never got around to playing it, though a friend of mine did mention that they thoroughly enjoyed that game as well. We're just collecting some coral samples here. Now, technically, we're just breaking most likely a piece of the coral off. This is, in fact, most likely one large individual. It just forms it's what you call a modular organism. It grows and forms new little polyps and grows in size by creating new smaller clones of itself. So attached as one and functioning very much like one massive individual, but also consisting of little clones. And you can break a piece off and grow it as a new individual. That's basically what a modular organism means. You can take a piece of that organism and break it off, and it will continue living as it's on its own and continue growing, reproduce, all those types of things. I've just been looking for the right coral to actually come and scan here. Let's just scan that one as well.
Done.
I would honestly, Firedog, I would not have been surprised if I did say carrotfish instead of parrotfish. I'll be honest, sometimes I do misspeak.
Ooh, company.
Unbelievable. That sounds too close to be outside the research zone.
One of the waypoints went down. Do you think that's related?
Yeah, probably.
So there was some kind of strange sound. I guess we've got to go and explore that now. Oh yeah, but the parrotfish, the parrot of the pea, that is, it's quite an awesome fish. Very colorful as well. I mean, a lot of coral reef species would be very colorful. It kind of helps them surprisingly blend in with the background because, well, coral reefs are generally very colorful if they haven't experienced coral bleaching. Let's just swim on over to this side. I need to go scan the dolphins there, I think, and then have a look at this point over here. Ooh, we also have sharkies. Hello, sharkies. Is this a pufferfish? This looks like a pufferfish. So called because, well, they can inhale water and puff their bodies up. Yeah, that is a pufferfish. There we go. White-spotted pufferfish. Arothron hispidus. I can't remember what hispidus means, actually. Shoot, because I have heard that in plant names as well, but I cannot remember what it means. But yeah, pufferfish, I love them. A lot of them are also very toxic, and that is because, well, they ingest algae that they then take and produce toxins from. And if they don't have access to those algae, a lot of them are not actually toxic. But they do have that secondary defense mechanism of inhaling a lot of water and swelling up, making it more difficult for predators to actually swallow them. I may decide rather not to try and swallow them. Let's see, we've got what looks like white-tipped reef sharks. Are you white-tipped reef sharks? Yeah, there we go, white-tipped reef sharks. I know it's a white-tipped reef shark. They're very characteristic shape, very streamlined, very long, slender sharkies. And you can see they're called the white-tipped reef shark because, well, they've got a white tip on the caudal fins there. On the top fins there, oh, sorry, caudal is actually the tail. The tail fins will have white tips. The top fins there, all the fins basically have got little white tips to them. Hence the name white tip reef shark. And reef shark because, well, they very often occur in reef areas. And they can occur in quite large numbers. So they very often will, especially at night, they hunt the sleeping fishies and they will chase them out of their hiding spots. And occurring in a group like this is not a tight-knit group, eh? This is not a pack. This is literally a mob that is just trying to flush fish from the area, and then hopefully one of you will snag it. So if you are 20 white tip reef sharks together, hopefully some of you will flush the fish, and hopefully some of you will be able to catch the fish. So even if you flush the fish this time and you don't get to eat the fishy, next time one of the other individuals may flush it and you get to eat it. So it just works out that way, that sometimes you flush and sometimes you eat. Alright, now we are looking for this sensor over here, I believe, as well. Let's see, and the fun Japanese delicacy of fugu. Oh yes, which you can touch with a 100-foot long pole. So yes, the pufferfish, of course, used to make fugu. Of course, if you want to eat fugu, you can't just have a random person on the street making that. You need to be extremely well trained as a chef to actually make fugu, because most parts of the wild harvested pufferfish would be poisonous. Highly poisonous. And I mean, you've got to cut away all the edible bits without actually getting any of the other bits cut and, you know, leaching the toxins into the flesh you want to eat or you want someone to eat. I wouldn't touch that either, though I believe, if I'm maybe speaking under correction.
Red light must mean a serious alert.
Okay, we'll check that in a moment. Okay. But yeah, I believe if they were actually bred in captivity and didn't have access to those algae, they can't produce the toxins, and technically then they shouldn't be toxic, but please do not quote me on that. I may be speaking under correction or misinformation. I don't want to spread misinformation, but sometimes that happens. Okay, we have collected the tag there. Ooh, octopus!
Whoa, octopus.
That was
I
cool.
think it went in that cave.
Let's have a look.
I'd like to go in that cave.
Let's go in
Let's
that
be
cave.
real. There's no way I'm not squeezing through here to follow that octopus.
Yeah.
We'll definitely want to practice diver rescue at some point.
Well, maybe.
Mirai, please be careful.
We're always careful. Well, relatively careful. Now, it won't be easy to actually find the octopus in here because, well, they are so well camouflaged. Not only do they actually change their color, they can also change the way they look, the structure, their appearance as well. Now, I'm trying to figure out... Oh, there it is. Oh, shame. I'm kind of terrifying you. Hello there. Octopus vulgare, I believe it is. Common
Hey
octopus.
there.
We go.
Sorry to spoil your hiding place.
Octopus vulgaris. So I accidentally said vulgare, but if you're looking at Latin, the genus and the genus and the species name there will have to be the same gender. And like within languages like German, I know it is the case. Not sure with other languages, but some words are masculine, some are feminine, and some don't have a gender. And here, for example, octopus is either male or female or something else, or the gender neutral one. And vulgaris then has to be the same gender as that genus name. So it wouldn't be octopus vulgare. I think those would be two conflicting genders. So it's octopus vulgaris. Very often, and notice as we go along scanning the names, very often it ends in very similar syllables at the end. If it were octopa, it would have been vulgara, I believe it would have been. So just interesting to note that. But octopus vulgaris, vulgar meaning common. This is the common octopus. And octo, of course, referring to 8. Pus there, or pod, would mean foot. So it literally 8-footed, the common 8-foot. That is what octopus vulgaris would mean. Now we're just going to try and squeeze out of this tunnel over here. We will see, I believe, some more octopus as we go along, but we're just going to crawl out here. Fireduck says, according to Merriam-Webster, his spit is rough or covered with bristles. Oh, stiff hairs or minute spines. Interesting. I also see Fireduck also asked, what do I consider to be the plural of octopus? That's a difficult one because there are many different terms potentially used to describe octopus. I think technically it is octopi or octopuses. Actually, I think it could be octopuses rather than octopi, although nowadays I think octopi would also be considered a correct plural, but a lot of people also, and I have also been in that camp, although I have switched back to octopi rather than octopodes, but a lot of people also would say octopodes, being the plural of octopus. So there are one of 3 that one could potentially, considering who you're talking to, you could consider correct: octopodes, octopuses, or octopi. Yeah, so quite a different
Fun
bunch
alert.
of ones.
Looks like some young dolphins are having a play date.
There we go. Oh, there we go. Some more. Another one I can scan there. Come on. I think there was one there. A whole bunch I can scan here still. This one I've got to still scan. I think as we scan more of these, we'll also get more information later about all these different creatures. So here's a whole pod of them. Of course, dolphins very often occur in pods. Very few species of dolphins actually are not found in pods. They are highly, highly social animals. And they are also very, very inquisitive animals. And if you go and, for example, in this case, pick up something like this little fan coral over here, I'm sure some of them, there we go, would actually come over.
Can I take a turn?
Ah, very often dolphins will pick things up and play with it, swim around with it, drop it, grab it again. Of course, play is an extremely important tool to learn, to be able to maneuver fish, like they, for example, catch
You
it,
don't see that every day.
and they maneuver
At least
it.
I don't.
Frankly, neither do I.
That is quite cool. Play is an
Right,
incredibly
sperm
important
whales.
thing for a lot of animals.
And they must be your pod because I have a tag signal that is
Ooh.
definitely ours.
There we go.
Pushing the waypoint.
On my way.
Alright, let's head on over there. Hazzy, Firedark, you prefer octopodes? I like octopodes. Octopodes is a
I'm
cool
hoping
name.
to reconnect with the sperm whale family, whom I have been tracking for years.
I'm excited to check in on our mother-to-be.
Okay, so there's a female that had a calf, or most likely would have had a calf. And I agree, Paleo Potato, basically pick your favorite and run with it. Stick with it. Oh yeah, there we go, a whole bunch of females here together. I don't see a baby. Unless I'm missing it, I don't see a baby. The baby would be quite small, considering that it's probably just a year old. If it is, in fact, born already.
Right clearly has a fondness for these creatures. She's fallen silent.
Right. Let me finish scanning them all. I still don't see our pregnant mother. Done.
Good. Everything all right?
I am now. Look.
Oh, is it now the mother with the calf? Oh,
Our
there
mommy
it
whale has
is.
delivered. Everyone say hi to her beautiful 1-ton baby girl.
1
Is she
ton.
okay?
Goodness.
Right.
Shh. She's nursing. I
Mhm.
just wish all of you could be here for 1 second.
Aw.
Amazing. That is the end of our stream. Like, share, comment. Remember, we need you. All of us down here.
That is quite cool. Yeah, I agree. Paleo Potato sperm whales are really awesome. I can understand why they are your favorite. So let's see. Dr. Shane Guerrero says, love your mom, be a good neighbor, learn from grandmother's experience. These are all things I learned from studying sperm whales. That's quite cool. Let's see what happens now. Oh, we're on our sub. Okay, and we can replay the areas. I think that is... complete the conversations. Okay, so this is where we can choose which dives to do, I think. Let's go to the helm and actually just finish some conversations, it seems. Of course, being mammals, sperm whales do nurse their young. They produce milk, and the baby there was suckling on her mother. First female born to the sperm whale family in 5 years. That is quite cool. Okay. And what do I do now? Oh, call Andre, I guess. Let's call Andre.
Hello, Mirai. Thanks for checking in.
Hello,
Hey,
Andre.
Andre.
Nice dive. How are you feeling?
A bit tired, but I can't wait to get back out. Can you believe we found the family on the first dive? And they have a new baby girl.
I know. Well done. Feeling settled in the sub. Has everything tested out?
Tess? I knew I forgot something.
This solo sub test makes me nervous. We're definitely fitting it out for 2 pilots next time.
Always good to have more than just one pilot in a sub. Let's see. Are you volunteering, Andre?
Volunteering?
Well, not if you're choosing the playlist.
Snob. I think Arena was enjoying my tunes quite a bit on the trip out here.
No comment. So, I have something I know you'll want to see. It's what the live stream saw of A12 and her baby.
Oh, that's
Didn't think
cute.
you expected her to deliver so soon, though.
I thought she had more time given her weight, but it was hard to know for sure.
It's hard to estimate the weight
What's the
underwater.
about?
Just noting her low weight. Also wondering when you'll find the rest of her pod. Maybe they were diving.
I'll find them. Hey, I was thinking we should name the baby whale Andrea. She has your kind eyes.
And my bald head. No, I'm putting her in the sim as A17.
Ugh, you're so sentimental. Hey, where's Arena?
probably in the head throwing up.
Oh, what's up with Irina?
Seriously? No, seriously, what's she working on?
She's reading a brief about that deep-sea mining impact study.
Oh, deep sea
Okay,
mining.
I definitely
Horrible.
don't have time to get into that with you. I gotta call my sister.
No problem. I'll send Ren my best.
I will.
Alright, so in between everything, we of course will have conversations with a whole bunch of people. Let's just... Can I go back? I want to go back to the previous one. So we've had sound-based waypoint system activated and tested. The second one was migration of the A lineage sperm whale family into the region confirmed. So considering that males will leave the pod when they reach a certain age, I believe the females of sperm whales actually stay with their mothers and their grandmothers. So all the females very similar to lions, which also have that structure where the females of the pod will stay, or of the pride will stay together, whereas males, when they reach semi-maturity, they are pushed out of the pride. They've got to go fend for themselves. And they will eventually, in lions at least, they will rejoin a pride if they survive long enough. But in sperm whales, they tend to stay solitary, only really joining the females when it is actually time to mate and to try to pass their genes on. So the A lineage here basically just meaning all the females that are related to that A first individual, basically there. So these are all their daughters and granddaughters and great-granddaughters and great-great-granddaughters of one of the old females. Alright, let's call our sister, and then I think, and I hope we can then carry on with the new dive. And hello there, Andy. Welcome to the stream. I see you asking, and elephants? Yes, elephants also, the same thing happens there. The females will also tend to stay with the herd, and then the bulls will get pushed out of the herd once they reach a certain age. And then they've got to fend for themselves. Sometimes they rejoin a herd later on. Usually they tend to stay solitary. But they can rejoin a herd sometimes, usually only when some of the females are ready to actually mate. Alright, let's call our sister.
Aren't you supposed to be 20,000 leagues under the sea?
I am.
Oceanic
I'm calling
elephants.
from the sub.
That's crazy.
Let's see.
Hey, did you show Nana my live stream tonight?
School's great, thanks for asking.
Concert
Alright.
great too? Saw your friend's post.
Fish, girls gotta take a break sometime.
Hey, check this out.
No way. Is that a baby whale?
Mm-hmm. And her very, very proud mother. She delivered early.
That's some view.
Potentially
Yeah,
worrying
living
that
the
she
dream.
delivered early.
Thanks. Miss you though. How's Nana?
Okay, not a big deal, but I am taking Nana to get tested for a clinical trial. Some new dementia drug.
Why didn't you tell me you signed Nana up for a clinical trial?
It's just an application.
Maybe you should wait until I'm back.
Can't. It starts in a week. I gotta go. Say hi to the whales for me.
Alright, we will do so, Rin. We will say hi to the whales. Alright, let's exit the helm. That's the point to maybe talk to all the people we need to talk to and do our stuff. I believe this is where we can select which songs are playing. Now currently I have got it set to streamer mode. In other words, the copyrighted music is not actually playing at the moment. There are some copyrighted songs and they are not playing at the moment. All the songs that are playing as we are playing this actually are free. They're not copyrighted. So we can do a stream without having to worry about that. I think this is, oh yes, this is where we can actually get information about some of the animals and actually look at them. So we can zoom in and out, and yeah, we can rotate them. We can look on the underside. I mean, there you can see the gills on the underside there. So water would be pushed from the mouth there and then exit via the gills, and in the process then food particles will also be filtered out. And you can see very much a resemblance between the whale shark mouth there and the devil ray shark over here. Not devil ray shark, the devil ray's mouth over here. Large, flattish, can open up nicely to get a lot of water in and then filter it out. And we can also have a look at the science log here, which gives us, basically in this case now, some information about where they are located in the tree of life. They are of course animals. They are chordates, in other words they've got a backbone. They are elasmobranchi, which are the cartilaginous fish rather than, sharks and rays actually, rather than just the cartilaginous fish. They are the Myliobatiformis, and then goes down to Myliobatidae, that's the family, and then the species name is Mobula tarapacana. That is the scientific name there. And I do believe, yeah, there we go. We can also see where we can find them. We can detect them generally here in the sunlight zone, it seems. Maybe down to... Looks like we can possibly find them even down to the midnight zone as well. So the open ocean and in the atoll, we are going to find them. So that's quite cool. You can find a whole bunch of information here about a whole bunch of these animals. And we'll probably have a look at some of these as we go on. I mean, everything you scan, you can find here. And that is quite cool. Yes, so Bailey Potato says they forgot about this game's dialogue. I think I watched a Let's Play when it was brand new. Yeah, I also kind of forgot how much dialogue there is. We are going to probably find a bit more dialogue as well. What on earth is this? Oh, it's the handbook. It's a live stream handbook. Okay, I guess that is just just there. We've got some notes. The power of attorney papers. Okay, I don't think we can do anything there, so that's just power of attorney papers. Yay! We've got a little picture here of Mirai, Nana, and Ren. Okay, I'm looking for a map first aid, of course, as well, and then ocean sense. Okay, just the acoustic things there. I was thinking there would be like a map around here. Oh, we've got a little manta drone. Okay, so we're probably going to play around with that a little bit later. And is this the map? Oh no, these are the documentaries. So Ocean Insights here, you can actually watch a whole bunch of documentaries on here as well, which is really awesome. About the life there, for example, with brine pools, which we may see a little bit later on in this stream. Hopefully we'll see that today. A whole bunch of things like deep ocean vents, those types of things you can actually watch here. So that is really, really awesome. Almost exited the game there. I don't want to exit the game. We can now go to the next dive though. Right, let's see. Day two.
Back to the atoll at sunset. The hydrophone feeds are alive with the sounds of whales. Gonna find me some singers. I'm excited to test Andrea's new manta drone. Kinda like the Swiss Army knife of stealth drones. I'd love to spend the whole dive hanging out with baby Andrea, but miles to swim before I sleep. Ready to dive.
Alrighty, let's dive in, shall we?
I'm in and okay.
Looking good, Mirai. The Manta drone is ready for its first zoom scan.
Now I get to see why you talk about it so much.
Only the best science for you.
Alright, so here we go. Looks like a little bit deeper water. This is actually more where I would start
Way
expecting
ahead. Bet we'll find some whale vocalizations.
the whales, the sperm
I'll
whales.
take the map bet. You always find whales. You'd find them in your bathtub.
What kind of bathroom do you think I have?
Big one, apparently. Yeah, sperm whales generally found in open ocean, and in deeper water they can dive down to about, was it 2,250 meters? That's a very, very deep. That's quite deep. That's the third deepest diving species on Earth. Second place would be the southern elephant seal, which goes down to about almost 2,400 meters, I think. And the deepest then is the Cuvier's beaked whale. So also a cetacean. And that one goes down to, I think, almost 3,000 meters. So about 600-700 meters more than the sperm whale does. And I think that Cuvier's beaked whale, if I'm not mistaken, can actually stay down for 220 minutes, which is more than 3.5 hours. Imagine holding your breath for 3.5 hours. That's just amazing. Like, I can't even hold it for 2.5 minutes, never mind 3.5 hours. Alright, let's have a look. What have we got? Are we going to find acoustic things? Yes, we are going to scan. Ooh, that's a nice sound. Singing. Humpback whales. Yes, I figured that's a humpback whale right over there. Those clicks, that could be sperm whale, could be dolphins. That
This is a lot of whales.
Andrea.
It's staggering the number migrating through this area.
Hey, don't jinx it.
Humpback whale? Yeah, another humpback whale. You can hear there, the two humpback whales we could actually hear, they sound very different. I mean, each individual would kind of form its own song to try and attract a partner. Let's head to this one. You know what, the sperm whales are closest. Let's have a look at the sperm whales first. Yeah, really, really mind-blowing. Absolutely.
It's our sperm whale family again.
Hello there, little ones. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. I love sperm whales. They really are amazing. Yeah, I really do apologize if you guys are hearing a Jack Russell barking in the background. That is our neighbor. They cannot control their dog. It's constantly barking, and normally they're not barking at night, but tonight they are. Or that one, Clara, is barking and barking and barking again. Let's see, we've got to scan these two sperm whales again. Okay, so there we go. We've scanned the mother. Let's scan Andrea over here as well. Send zoom scan drone to target. Let's send the Manta.
The Manta drone will match speed with the creature, so you can concentrate on steering it around to find the places you need to focus.
Okay, we need to scan the fluke. The fluke here being the tail of the whale. The reason we need to scan this is very often whales will have unique patterns or
Alright,
unique
baby.
shapes.
We won't forget you now.
There we go. Today we've got the shape of that fluke. That is generally how we identify
can the Zoom
individuals.
scan tell how old the baby is?
Not with any certainty. Why?
Just wondering if she's old enough to hunt by herself.
Now they would be able to, as soon as they've stopped drinking milk from the mother, or before then even, they would most likely be able to hunt, would not be able to go down as deep as the mothers initially.
Wondered. She still seems pretty young to go that deep.
Will she be okay alone while her mother dives?
She should follow the pod. Her aunties will babysit while the mother hunts.
Wish
Taking
I had them
turns.
when my daughter was born.
Takes a pod.
It does indeed take a pod to raise a baby whale. That's
You're
quite
right.
cool.
Why is the baby girl so important to your study?
I'm hoping to follow the baby for years to learn from her as she learns from her family, and hopefully to watch her eventually become a mother herself.
Yeah, that in essence is one of the major benefits of being in a group, being in a pod or a pack or anything like that, is that some individuals can watch the offspring while other individuals are feeding or sleeping or hunting or something along those lines. You don't always have to necessarily be with your baby. You can go and hunt and then come back and the baby will be fine. You don't have to hide
Here
the
we
baby
are,
somewhere.
The whale we're designating Humpback M1. Oh, so catchy.
Very, very catchy. Hello, Humpback M1. That's your song, is it? Cool. Alright, now we are going to scan the tail in a moment. But, I mean, just look at this. This is one of those baleen whales, and you can kind of see that. You can see the baleen plates there in the mouth. Okay, if this one would just open its mouth again. There we go. There you can see the baleen plates there. Very hair-like. And that then will filter out the krill and fish and whatever they are trying to catch. Okay, we are just going to send the drone again. Again, we are going to try to actually get the tail fluke here. That is what we want to scan. Because again, each individual will have its own pattern, will have its own tears and its own shape and scars on there. And it's very, very characteristic.
How will you know it's M1 when you see it again?
Each humpback's fluke is unique.
There we go.
So M1 it is.
Alright. That's something I learned back in the day with Magic School Bus. The first we had 3 of the Magic School Bus games. The first one was the ocean exploration one, the ocean, and the second one was the solar system, and then dinosaurs, because every boy needs to love dinosaurs at some point. And yeah, so we had those 3 Magic School Bus games for Windows 95, and oh my word, now I feel old. But in that Magic School Bus, the ocean one of the things in the open ocean is you had to photograph the flukes of the humpback whales. So you'd wait for them to blow, and then as they dive down, they would lift the tail up, and that's the point when you'd snap a shot of the tail fluke there. And then you'd have to identify the individuals based on the patterns and the scars and stuff like that. So that's how I learned, like, wow, many, many years ago. So that's more than 2 decades ago that I learned that is in fact how you identify, not almost said sharks, whales. How you identify different individuals of whales. What have we got? This looks like another type of parrotfish. Indeed. Keys parrotfish, Scarus kihi. Beautiful, again, brightly colored. Wouldn't necessarily really be hanging around out in the open like that. They would most likely be a little bit closer to the coral itself here. Nonetheless, they were swimming around there. What have we got? Another orangish fishy over here. Let's just get a bit closer. Well, these look like angelfish. Yeah, they're royal angelfish. Angelfish tend to have a characteristic shape. Now, the problem with common names like angelfish, for example, is that angelfish refers to more than just this group of fish. There's another fish, in South Africa, for example, called angelfish as well, which does not look like these at all, and they're not that brightly colored at all. It's a relatively drab, deeper sea fish. So deeper ocean fish, and, well, I've eaten that. They are quite tasty. Although if you eat too much of it, you are probably going to suffer from diarrhea, so you need to eat a little bit at a time, not too much thereof. It's a very, very oily fish. But it is a deep sea fish, and you won't find them over here. What if we got these things, these little fishies here? They almost look like more triggerfish. Are you triggerfish? Yeah, there we go, the Titan triggerfish. So Titan, I would assume, would be one of the largest species of triggerfish. Is this a giant clam? This is a giant clam, isn't it? Look, there we go, opening up. Look at that siphon, you can see the siphon there. Okay, now it's dozing up again. But look at that siphon in the center there. Just going to scan this. Tridacna gigas, gigantic, basically. There we go, it's opening up again, so it filters out food particles from the water with that siphon. Pulls it in, filters out food particles, and exhales again. Now, it can get massive in size and can grow, can survive for quite a long period of time. It's one of the oldest invertebrates in the world, the giant clam. Now, one of the reasons why it's able to actually grow so big and live for so long is probably because, like coral, they have zooxanthellae living in their mantle. So the mantle being the part between the shell, or the place where their body attaches to the shell. And in that part, all around the rim of the shell here, they will have zooxanthellae. And the zooxanthellae, they will photosynthesize. They're photosynthetic algae. They photosynthesize, and they give some of those sugars that they produce through photosynthesis, they give that to the clam. So the clam doesn't have to just filter out its own food, it can also get sugars from the zooxanthellae living in its body, which is an amazing endosymbiotic relationship. Symbiotic, close proximity with one another, a close relationship between species. Endo, meaning one species is actually living inside the other species. Really, really quite awesome. And yes, indeed, Viaduct, there are also freshwater angelfish as well. And again, unrelated to the marine angelfish. That's one of the problems with common names, is you call a bunch of different things the same thing, or same name, and they are completely unrelated. That's where the scientific names come in. Here we've got barracuda, I do believe. The great barracuda, or the greater barracuda. One of the largest species of barracuda. The great barracuda there. Sphyrine barracuda. Barracuda just because that's what it is called. You see the torpedo shape, there's a streamlined shape. They are very, very fast. Ferocious predators. A little fishy swimming around here outside of the school will be snapped, most likely be snapped up by one of these barracudas that just very quickly, with a swish of the tail, dart forward and grab one to eat. A lot of very sharp teeth as well, so when they grip onto the fish or onto the prey, they can shred it. You do not want to be bitten by barracudas. They will inflict quite a bit of damage. Let's see, I think we most likely will... Ooh! There are 2 whales here!
Approaching Humpback M2.
Ah.
Looks like he's on a date.
How can you tell?
It's like they're dancing to his song.
Kind of like a courtship dance that these ones are doing. I believe that is the male over there, and that may be the female around, swimming around him. Let's see. Or is this the male? Oh, this is in fact the male. Okay, so the female is just kind of chilling there, and the male is swimming around her, trying to attract her or get her to agree that, listen, I would like you to breed with me.
What do you think, Andre? Do you think you can make it as a solo artist?
Not without more original material.
What?
Males from the same region sing nearly identical songs with just enough variation to stand out.
Yeah, just like most pop singers.
Such a snob.
Right, so there we go. That is the humpback whale. Okay, oh yes, R is to exit. I don't think we need to scan the tail of this one. No, does not look like we need to, so we can just exit, I guess. Alright, and then we need to go visit that whale over there. Let's see, also, it's like wapiti, or elk or moose. What North Americans call a moose is called elk in some places, yet elk in North America is called wapiti elsewhere. Exactly, and it becomes even worse when you're looking at plants and plant names. And it's like, yeah, so sometimes the same, obviously a lot of plants will be called different things based on a lot of species will be called different things in terms of common name based on the language that you use to actually call that thing. Like in Afrikaans we call an elephant an olifant. Now that's relatively simple. are really relatively similar as well, but sometimes the names are vastly different. And if I were to, let's say for example, baboon in isiZulu, I think is ubejane. Which, okay, baboon, ubejane, maybe that's kind of similar. In Afrikaans is bobbejaan. It kind of sounds semi-similar, but it's different. I mean, it's difficult to know, okay, that's actually what this person is referring to if you don't speak that language. And then, of course, you can have the same name for different things. Like we've got yellowwood, for example. That's a name we just use to describe a certain bunch of trees, but there are many different species in the yellowwood trees, or that are called yellowwoods. So can be quite confusing. Let's see, I also see Justaberry asks, please, can you play Empires of the Undergrowth as a driver ants, bullet ant, stink ant in free play with the Ereptor colony? That is actually something I am seriously considering. I am considering when I do another live stream of Empires of the Undergrowth, I am going to play as the driver ants. I want to play as driver ants within, as you say, the Ereptor colony. So that would mean that I could eat a wide range of things, which would make it easier, but I would like to play as a nomadic species, as driver ants. That's a good idea. It's on my list of things I want to actually do, is play as driver ants, because driver ants are really amazing. I love them, and I mean the fact that they're in the same group or the same family as the Essiton army ants is just amazing. And army ants, I have never seen an army ant. We don't have them in South Africa. We've got driver ants, but we do not have the army ants in South Africa. Would love to see army ants one day though. Really awesome species. We're just grabbing a whole bunch of species of scans here. I was just about to say that looks like a butterfly fish over there, or those look like butterfly fish. Just need to scan this one over here as well. You can see there are 27 white-tip reef sharks we need to scan, and we have scanned 16 so far. And those 27 will be spread out throughout the areas you can actually dive. I believe it is the case. I think we have just gained more information about it. Yes, we have. Oh. Let's see. How do I go on? Okay, do I click there? No. I was supposed to... Oh, there we go. Oh, no. That's F. Okay, I don't know. I think I may have gotten extra information there, but now I couldn't check it. So we're going to just scan a few here. Okay, we can scan behavior of the white-tip reef shark now as well. Alright, so we're getting a whole bunch of information just by scanning a lot of these sharkies over here. There we go. Or like acacia trees in Africa versus Australia. Or acacias is a sore spot for me. Because, I mean, the acacias were called acacias, whether you were in... Hello, sharkies? Whether you were in Africa or Australia, but then the names got changed, and South African species, or African species, got changed from acacia to Senegalia and Vachelia and a whole bunch of other genera. I will forever still be calling it acacia, because acacia comes from acanthos, which means with spines. And apart from one or two species, all African acacias actually have got spines, whereas Australian species generally do not have spines. So it's not the best descriptive name for Australian species. So yeah, let's see. We're going to just scan this one over here. Okay. Okay, we have already scanned the tail of M1 over here. Okay, but we haven't recorded the song yet. Let's just go back. There we go.
Andre's software is helping me understand the structure of their songs, so we can try singing back.
More like playing back. I'll synthesize a song that mirrors one from another region to see how these whales react.
Okay, yes.
Because Andre doesn't like my singing.
It's more the songs you sing, actually.
So Andreas has some particular taste in terms of what music he likes. Alright, I think now we have to head over to that point over there. So interesting that the whales of one area will kind of have very similar songs, whereas if you are in a different area, the songs will be different. So dialects. And it's not only found in whales, you also will find in some birds. You will find that in one area they will have a specific type of song, and in a different area, same species, different individuals in a different area, different songs. We find it in South Africa, for example, with robin chats, where in some areas the white-starred robin chat, for example, sounds like a guy walking through the forest whistling. I will and I mean that's that's how it sounds. And if you look on the bird apps and the bird identification apps, that's what it would sound like. That's the sound they play. But in the forest where we are, they don't sound like that at all. Instead, they sound like a rusty seesaw. It's like a beep poo, beep poo. Sound like, imagine like a rusty seesaw. That's exactly what the white-starred robin chats sound like.
Let's hope
Here
the
we are.
Whalapalooza continues. Wonder if they charge admission.
Don't worry, whatever it is, you can take it from my budget.
Someone's feeling better today.
All right, let's see. What have we got? What can we scan? Well, that's a strange sound over
Well,
there.
I guess it worked. I've got some nasty noise.
Same damn sound we heard yesterday.
Well,
That
I'll
sounds like
check it out
machinery.
between the whales.
That sounds like machinery over there. That sounds like a submarine's pings. We'll need to go check that out as well. So some strange sounds coming from these two areas over there. One there and one down there. Let's just have a look here. Oh, this is such a peaceful game as well. I mean, I can spend hours and hours and hours just swimming through this landscape. Like, I would be terrified actually swimming this deep in real life. I like snorkeling in shallow water. I do not like going down deep. I like to at least be able to surface quite easily. So I snorkel occasionally, though I haven't snorkeled in a while. It is always a lot of fun to actually
Are
snorkel
you sure
a bit.
this is where you track that noise?
Yeah, it sounds like it.
I don't know, Andre. That sound is loud, but it seems pretty deep. Can't see how it could be coming from a ship.
Yeah, I agree. It also keeps starting and stopping. I'll figure out another way to investigate it.
Probably go down with a sub, I would hazard a guess. Alright, let's summon over to that spot over there, see what that is. Dun 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 dun. Let's see, I see I'm maybe missing some chats here. It's just saying top messages instead of all messages. Let's see there. Okay, now any messages should be coming through. Dun dun. 70 meters to go. Beautiful, these parrotfish. Yeah, these are parrotfish. Yeah, indeed. Tricolored parrotfish. I mean, scarus, tricolor, 3 colors. In essence, that's generally quite straightforward. Beautiful, though. A lot of what appear to be either soft corals or maybe seagrass type plants here as well. A lot of photosynthetic organisms. But as we now reach 30 meters, now we should be able to switch the light off, but I can't remember how. Let me just quickly check here. What is the control? What are the controls to actually switch my light off? Okay. Okay. I don't see how I can switch the light off. I know there is a way to actually... I think there is a way to switch... Oh, there we go. V. V changes the color spectrum we are actually showing. Ooh, look at that. You can actually see some organisms here biofluoresce. In other words, standing out as we are shining, in this case, the red light on them. Or that... What light was that? More of a blue-purple light that we are shining on them. Alright. And now we've got the light off. And you can see here that at 30 meters, we actually
Looks
have...
like another area sensor.
Yes, we'll get back to
Okay,
that now,
Mirai.
Mirai.
Can you use the micro tanks to mark the starfish for collection?
Are you testing your collector drone?
It's not a test. Irina needs us to collect a few for study.
They are incredibly resilient. They can regenerate themselves from just a subset of their body.
There we go.
They're
So
also
modular.
invasive. Must have hitched a ride in the ballast of a ship.
Okay, not modular. Okay. Alright, so we're looking at something. Tag the sea stars for removal. Oh, okay. We'll have a look at them in a moment. But now that we are this deep, you know, if you break the light spectrum, the white light up into like the rainbow, the red light gets lost first. So in the shallow waters, you know, your blood will still appear red. But as you go deeper down, technically by the time we are over here, you wouldn't actually see a red color, because no red light has actually would be able to penetrate this deep into the water. After a while, green light also dissipates or is no longer able to be seen, doesn't penetrate deep enough, and then blue light will penetrate the deepest down in the ocean. So technically at this point, if we weren't actually shining a light on these things, nothing should seem red. I mean, there you can see the red things. If you shine there, you can see the red things in front there. But now, it's not red, is it? because, well, there is no red light actually reflecting off a surface there. So it depends on how the turbidity is and a variety of other factors, but generally I think about 30 meters in, you shouldn't see the red color anymore. If you, of course, shine a light, then you can see red. The interesting thing that if you bleed at this depth, your blood would not appear red, because, well, there is no red light penetrating from the sun's rays to actually bounce off your blood and for you to then perceive it as red. At this depth, your blood would be green in color, which I always find so strange. And then if you go deep enough, that actually it will appear black, because there's no more green light even penetrating deep enough to then bounce off your blood. So before we tag the sea stars here, yes, as mentioned by Paleo Potato, in the 18th and 19th century, carbolic soap was made using whale oil. Whale oil, especially from sperm whales, gathered or collected from the from the melon of the sperm whale, that front part of the head. In there, they've got a very, very oily substance. It's the sperma something, not spermaceta. Could be spermaceta. There is a term for the compound found in there. Initially, it was believed that it's actually the whale's sperm. But I mean, who stores... Okay, I was about to say, who stores sperm in their head? But you have a whole bunch of invertebrates doing very strange things. So, okay, what vertebrate stores sperm in their head? That's generally not how it works. But it is this oily substance that kind of would resemble sperm if you briefly looked at it. But that is actually a very oily substance. And that oily substance in the front part of their head helps to amplify the clicks they make for echolocation. So it makes it louder and enables it to travel further. That is the main theory of, main explanation for why they have got that there we go, spermaceti. Spermaceti, yeah, there we go, that's the term, in the head. And because that was initially believed to be sperm, and it is called the spermaceti, that is where sperm whales get their name from. So it's not that they produce an excess amounts of sperm, and that's why they call the sperm whale. It is because of that spermaceti, the oily substance in the melon, in the top or front part of the head. That's why it's called the sperm whale. And that, the candles made from that, burned longer and brighter than any other candles. So they were very, very popular for their spermaceti oil in the front of the head. And lots and lots and lots of them were hunted specifically for that. So, yeah. Hello there, Makamane. Oh, sorry, Mamane. Sorry. Yeah, there we go. Mamane and Corsi. Welcome, welcome. Oh, I see it's in Notolo. Hey, you're on your granny's account. Hello there, Notolo. Glad you are here with us. Glad to have you with us in the ocean over here. Ah, marvelous. Okay, so let's actually come and just
Irina,
mark
how many
these
of these
ones.
do you need? I'm missing the whales.
Just a few.
Okay, so let's just mark them. So interesting here that we've got invasive starfish. Starfish, there are a few species of starfish that are highly invasive. They very often would be able to actually make their way quite long distances in the ballast water used to actually keep the ship afloat at the right depth. They take water in one port and they let the water out thousands of kilometers away, and it is possible then for the water there to contain the larvae of things like crabs, starfish, urchins, mussels, all kinds of things. A lot of species, I believe the green crab is highly invasive and most likely came from ballast water. The Mediterranean mussel, which we have as an invasive species in South Africa, also came from ballast water, and it seems these starfish also came, and we can't actually scan them. I'm not sure what species they are, but yeah, also interesting and also sad. Notice all the rubbish lying around here. We've got plastic, we've got bottles, we've got tires, we've got bags, we've got all kinds of horrible pollution that ended up in this little section over here, carried by the ocean currents, and then as it got here, the currents slowed down and it just kind of sunk to the bottom there. That is not nice at all. Now, somewhere there should be another two. I'm not sure where they are. Just going to scan that royal angelfish again. I'm wondering, where are those other starfish? I am as blind as a mole at the moment. They must be here somewhere. Surely they are here somewhere, because we've got to mark them in this area. So there was one right over there. Is there a green? I think there should be a green marker for us to see. There we go. There it is. There's another one that we can just tag for removal. Alrighty. Whole cluster of them together here. Interesting that was also mentioned they can regenerate. That's called autogenic recovery, or I think auto is self-genesis is creation, so you can kind of create yourself again. If you break an arm off, they can recover. Or in some cases, you can kind of split them down the middle, and they will still be able to regenerate and form two individuals. Ah, I see, Nicola, your power is going to go out. That sucks.
Deployed.
But thanks for being here in any case.
That's plenty.
And yes, Paleo Potato, indeed, the Crown of Thorns is another invasive species, although I believe the Crown of Thorns is actually indigenous in many of the areas where they are invading. But their main predators have been removed to a large extent from the areas, and because you've removed, because the top predator has been removed, there's an imbalance in the trophic levels, and the Crown of Thorns isn't able to proliferate. There's a lot of food for them, nothing necessarily keeping them in check, and as a result they can become super abundant. And I believe they're also one of those species that can kind of, you break them apart and they can just kind of regenerate. So it becomes very difficult to control them. Okay, we have scanned these clown triggerfish already. Let's just head on over to this side. Okay, I guess we're scanning for some more sounds, are we? Let's have a look. So peaceful, I love this game. No stress, you don't have to worry about breathing, nothing like that. Like, I love survival games, but it is nice sometimes just to swim around and not have to worry about drowning. Okay, some bottlenose dolphin clicks over there. Oh, there's something clicking over there.
Andre, what was that other nasty noise? It was definitely digital.
Low power alarm. You need to pick up a sensor for servicing.
It never occurred to you that a nice ringtone would be far less annoying?
It would have been less annoying, yes. Okay, we have scanned these two. What have we got here? This is a new species. Looks also like, oh, this is damselfish. Blue-green damselfish. Damselfish. Viridis referring to green. So these ones are obviously, they're greenish in color. Damselfish, the damselfish generally are reef-dwelling fish species. So it makes sense that you would see a lot of them in this area. Alright. Oh man, let's have a look down and see what we can find down here. Oh, you've got some table corals down here as well, so you're forming these shelves. Again, each one technically being a colony consisting of one individual's clones. They're forming that. Again, a whole bunch of sponges, it seems, down here as well.
Hey Andre, those reef sharks like your ringtone.
Yeah, we were here earlier. Alright, so let's have a look
Will
here.
I be able to get the data off that sensor while I'm picking it up?
No. It goes to sleep when the power is low to preserve the data.
Okay, let's pick it up. I wonder whether we actually will be able to see Crown of Thorns starfish in the game. I don't think they are in this game. Oh, there comes the sharky. Ooh, octopus.
Whoa!
Hey.
Did you see that?
Shame that wasn't on the live stream.
Oh,
Have
man.
you seen one do that before?
Never.
That is quite cool. So, tool use to some extent in octopus. So there with the common octopus, they're using shells to kind of hide. That would be, to some extent, a form of tool use. There are also some videos of them actually taking two shells and then walking across the ocean, but like with the shells as a bit of armor. That is quite amazing. Octopus are surprisingly intelligent. And if they lived for longer than 2 years, they would have... yeah, they would be a force to reckon with.
Mirai is off the menu.
But yeah, unfortunately for octopus, they are quite short-lived. Let's see here. We are heading over to the dolphins. There we go. Another pod. Wow, there are lots of them in this area, eh? 36 in total to scan.
Please, please, get closer.
You weren't this excited about the dolphins before.
They're rubbing against the coral. Kind of a wellness visit.
That is interesting that they are rubbing... I'm lost. There we go. Rubbing against the coral. Probably to remove parasites. Come on. I want to scan you. There we
I
go.
have colleagues that are studying the antimicrobial properties of these coral.
The antimicrobial, so it's to do with removing bacteria and stuff like that. And swabbing a coral for biosample. Let's go do that as well. Interesting, they're using what appears to be brain coral. We can't scan the brain coral here. Let's just get a sample, shall we?
I'm picking up a tag from the sperm whale pod. Pushing the waypoint now.
On my way.
Alright. Sea Fire Duck says, octopus trying to evolve a shell. rather it would be trying to re-evolve a shell, because the octopus and all the squids, all the cephalopods, their ancestors actually had a shell. And that shell then became, I believe it was an external shell, and then it became more internal, the shell. And in the octopus, it basically disappeared. I mean, the only hard part of an octopus's body is its actual beak. And if that can fit through a little rock crack or something, the whole octopus can fit through there. So yeah, in this case, the octopus is trying to get some external armor again. These are all the sharkies we already scanned. Some more triggerfish over here. The Titan triggerfish, yes? I think it was. Yeah, Titan triggerfish. Yeah, just want to double check that. They're quite cool. Oh, I love sharks. They are beautiful creatures. Okay, we've already scanned those butterfly fish. I think these are some more. Yeah, some more mailed butterfly fish that we are scanning. And yeah, they are
back with the rest of the pod.
Yay.
What's it doing?
Nuzzling.
Aww.
Probably calling for its mama.
The nuzzling there most likely to also strengthen bonds. That's cool. Okay, so we are going to scan Andrea in a moment. I see Paleo Potato also mentions, love looking at art of Cambrian cephalopods as they look like octopus wizards. They do look amazing. I mean, there have been some funky designs when it comes to cephalopods of the, especially the Cambrian period. Especially that period. They kind of
Calling for your mother.
really got crazy. It's just, okay, I need to, this is kind of inverted, so I'm horrible with that. There we go. Some clicks. That is quite cool. Okay, I think I did zoom scan. Oh, wait, why can't be? Ah! Okay, I'm really horrible at that part there. Okay, I did scan it. Okay, good.
You've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, I hear it!
Okay, something's disturbing the whales. That's not nice. That's not nice at all.
There they go. That was our shot.
So what on earth could that be? I'm guessing it's some kind of machine or some kind of horrible stuff happening deeper down.
I'm done for now.
We need to go down. We need to go deeper and see what on earth we can find out there. Alright, so by Roger Payne, we've got, I figured that if you could introduce whale songs into popular culture, you could maybe get a movement going to save the whales. And the founder of Ocean Alliance, it seems, Roger Payne. There we go. Alright, I guess now we've got to talk again. Yeah, complete your conversations in the helm chair. Okay, let's go talk to some more people again. Let's see, what have we got to say to everybody? Alright, let's call Ren again. Seems Ren is the only person
Hey,
we're
it's
talking to
Ren.
now.
Leave a message at the beep.
Okay, just
Is
a
there actually
message.
beep?
Hey, Ren, why's your phone off? You said this was a good time to call. Ignore that. Someone was messing with my whales today. I was just hoping I could vent to you a little.
Let's see, any updates on
If
Nana?
there's any update about Nana? Ooh, and we had a whale-a-palooza today.
Whalapalooza.
Anyway, give me a
Palooza.
call when you can. The whales say hi back.
Alright. Okay, and I guess one more call to make. Andre and Irina.
Hey, Mirai. How are you?
Doing all right. How are you feeling? Any better?
A bit. I might finally be getting my sea legs.
Next step, diving.
One step at a time, Mirai.
Yeah.
Okay, but I promise you, it'll change your life. Is Andre with you?
No, just me. Andre's analyzing some sound files in the other lab. I think I may have upset him.
What did you do? Again?
The two of you do seem to be on opposing wavelengths fairly often.
I quite enjoy our debate, except when it affects our work.
It wasn't a debate, it was an argument.
Andre, I didn't realize you were on. What did you find?
This is video and audio from your last dive. And this is an analysis of the sound that spooked the family. And this sound is from the Canadian marine acoustic scientist. I think the findings are pretty clear.
Alright, so that's very similar.
The The signatures sound the same to me.
He gave me the same test.
Andre, who is messing with my whales?
Deep sea miners.
Here? In the research zone?
Yep.
It's off limits to commercial activity.
And when has that ever mattered before?
We don't know that they're in the research zone. They may be just outside it. We knew they were doing an impact study nearby.
What are they after? That might give us a clue.
They're looking for rare minerals to make
Metals.
solar panels.
Could the sound cause trauma to the whales?
The acoustic specialist said it might push them to quieter hunting grounds, but was unlikely to cause acoustic trauma.
So what's the move?
Unlikely.
We should use our mapping drone to investigate their activity.
And this is where our debate turns into an argument. We need that drone to map the deep sea vents before Mirai dives there. The biochemistry of these vents is the perfect cocktail for creating new life forms.
If there is illegal activity there, we have to stop it.
Yes.
Otherwise, there will be no life forms.
Why spend our short time here policing rather than researching? Let's be scientists.
Mirai, your dive, your call.
Oh man. Let's go investigate the miners, I think. Let's go for that.
I'll dive in the vents without a map. Nobody messes with my whales.
Yeah. Alright, so that's a very, very difficult thing because, I mean, the deep sea miners there, and yes, as mentioned, most likely looking for metals and other minerals, well, mostly metals, that can be used in the production of solar panels. So, although solar panels are great and better than things like coal-powered power stations, there is still some environmental cost associated with it. And amongst other things, the potential destruction of deep sea vent areas, because those deep sea vents would be where a lot of those metals actually accumulate. And it's sadly being destroyed as we speak, before we even have a chance to even map all these deep sea vents and explore all these deep sea vents and have a look at the amazing creatures that are living in those vents. So that is, unfortunately, very, very sad. But we will talk about that in a moment, I'm assuming. Let's have a look and see what the message is from Rin.
Hey, Mirai. Sorry I missed you. Misplaced my phone. Whale-a-palooza? Is that a real thing? Tell whomever annoyed you I'm coming for them.
They were all coming for
Hey,
them.
nobody messes with our whales. Does your submarine have sonar? Maybe you can find the bad guys with that. No word on Nana's thing yet. Miss you.
So we miss you too, Rin. And that is the end of that. Alright, so now we can go do another dive. And I think we are going to go have a look at the vents, in fact, now. So let's head on over there. Ooh, what we've got here? We've got something new. Instead of the drone, we've got deep sea mining research. Okay, I guess that's all we can see there. And let's go and do our next dive, shall we?
Day 5. Open ocean, east of the atoll.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to play back a coda sound to Andrea to see her response. I'm definitely worried that the family has gotten smaller. Not sure if they were just spooked by that sound or if something else is going on. Staying hopeful. Ready to dive.
Mm-hmm. Alright, okay.
I'm in and okay.
Open
I
ocean time.
always feel like I'm swimming in place in the open ocean.
I wonder whether we can actually see the surface, or whether... No, the 2.2 meters is the... Oh, we can kind of go up. I think 1.8 meters is as shallow, 1.7. I think this is about as shallow as we can
Think the
get.
Explorer drones will flag me as biodiverse?
Hello.
What they're looking for.
That's what everyone says.
So, you know, this is the open ocean, and I think what a lot of people don't realize is it's basically a desert. I mean, look around. We've got a school of fish somewhere around there. There is a school of fish there. And other than that, we've basically got nothing. So the open ocean is largely a wasteland, punctuated by clusters of everything getting together. The bait fish coming there, sardines, pilchards, or whatever, or anchovies coming together in massive schools, and then you've got all the predators congregating there. Seabirds coming to hunt the albatrosses, gannets, all those types of birds. And then you've got dolphins, you've got sharks, you've got marlin and swordfish and sailfish, all those open ocean fish coming to hunt those bait fish. And then in between these balls of bait fish, you've got almost nothing. And it's actually surprisingly difficult for an animal to live out in the open ocean, because you never know when you're actually going to get food again. The most reliable place to find food is actually in shallower water. We do have some amazing fish over here though. the mola mola. I did see 3 of them. Wow, quite a few of them over here. I love sunfish, and I would love to see a sunfish. Oh, look at that. So it's definitely one of the weirdest species. They are distantly related to pufferfish, which we actually saw a little bit earlier. You know, those things that you can eat as fugu. But they are very, very strange. I know some of the names, like I believe the German name for these guys is Schwimmender Kopfe, meaning swimming head, because that's kind of what they look like, just this floating head in the ocean. They've got a mouth in the front part. They can't actually close their mouth completely. They can't chew their food, so as you can see, there's kind of gulping. The way they feed, and they would feed on things like jellyfish as well. They, I believe, have actually got pharyngeal teeth, meaning like spikes in their throat to break up jellyfish and things they eat. The way they eat is actually they inhale the food and they spit it out. And they inhale the food and they spit it out. They're constantly inhaling and exhaling the food particles, in the process then breaking it up into bigger chunks. Or smaller chunks, sorry, not bigger chunks. Smaller chunks, which they can eventually then swallow. Ooh, are these hammerhead sharks? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, there's jellyfish over there as well. Let's have a look at the jellyfish here. The moon jelly. Oh, that's cool. So this would be a Cnidarian. These ones have got stinging cells. You've got the front part there of the head of the jellyfish. And then you would have the tentacles all along the rim of this head. You would inside there have got the digestive parts of the jellyfish. You would have the reproductive parts of the jellyfish also in that cluster over there. And yeah, this is an amazing, amazing critter. But more amazing, I think, would actually be these hammerhead sharks. So let's see, potato or paleo potato also mentions totally off topic. But the other day they were reading about various South African steam engines that now live on the Welsh Highland Railway. Oh, that's interesting. That is very, very interesting. There were a lot of steam engines in South Africa, and then eventually most of them, were no longer being utilized. And my brother, amongst others, or my brother actually recently made some amazing videos on one of the steam engines that still runs in our area. It actually had a race against a Bentley, I think it was, so against a car. It raced in a certain area, and that was quite cool. If you want to go check out that video, it's by a guy named Adventures with Jakes. You will find a video there on the steam engines as well. There's a particular one there that runs in the area close to us. Really, really quite cool. I've never actually been on a steam engine. We still want to go. We definitely still want to go, but we haven't had the opportunity or time yet to go and do that. There was an amazing one that ran between 2 towns here on the southern coast where we are, the Outeniqua Choo-Choo. Choo-choo because it's a choo-choo train. But then unfortunately there were some massive floods and large parts of the track actually got destroyed or covered with like landfalls and stuff, or mudslides, and then they haven't been able to actually repair those tracks, and that's 2 decades ago. And so we can't actually go along on that Outeniqua Choo-Choo train. But there are some other steam trains that are, at least that one, that is still running there. So it's quite cool. That one they had to restore to actually get back to fully functional state. There we go. Let's see, what do we hear now with the acoustic recorder here? Acoustic recorders are a great way to actually figure out what we've got in an area without actually constantly being there.
That song sounds familiar.
Okay, so there's a humpback whale there. Another ping, ping, ping over there. I don't think that's an unknown creature. I think that's a machine. Sperm whales?
Hey, a newcomer.
Oh, orcas! Of course, that's an orcas whistle.
Now to get there before the noise from Andre's miner friends scares them all away.
Mm-hmm.
You want to raise my blood pressure?
Yeah. Let's see, here we go. Orcas. Technically a massive dolphin. A whole pot of them. Or sunfish. You are in danger.
To find orcas here.
You are in danger.
Top of the food chain. Just like us. Minus the urge to destroy ourselves.
Oh, really awesome creatures. In my life, I have seen orcas 3 times. Twice while fishing with my dad. They were quite close to shore. And once when I was doing a survey along a shoreline with fishermen. And they were there was a bunch of orcas in the area. They were actually hunting dolphins in the area at that point in time, and I actually saw them breach like 3 times in a row, which was really, really amazing to see. But let's actually scan these little critters, the wolves of the ocean. Oh, we've got to scan the saddle patch, it seems. Come on, up here. So the saddle here,
Has anyone been tracking them?
I'm still waiting to see if there's
being
a
quite
match.
unique. Okay, and then I believe we've also got to scan the sound. Oh, I suck with the whole inverted thing there.
Hello to you.
There we
too.
go. Hello. Oh, they're beautiful though. Of course, characterized by that white mark there behind the eye. Now, what you can see here with them is typical counter shading. Black above, light below. Dark or dark above, so that if you are swimming above them... Hello, Cinnamon. I see Cinnamon is also here with us now. If you look from above, I mean, that is difficult to spot against the dark ocean below them. And if you actually go below them... This is one of the amazing things I love about the games like this, is you can actually swim and look at stuff. I mean, looking up at them, they blend in with the surface water above them, the lighter surface water. So that is typical counter shading, having different colors above and below there. So let's just scan this one as well. And let's have a look at this one. Hello, Cinnamon. Oh, I almost punched Cinnamon in the face because she is... I wanted to stroke her head, but she is begging for food. Come, Cinnamon, this side. Oh, no, that Memphis is over that side. Okay, never mind. Come, Cindy. Both cats are in the area behind me here. Alright, so we have scanned the orcas here, but I actually wanted to look at this manta over here. So the mantas, you'll see here, will have fish associated with them. I believe these are pilot fish, and it almost looks like juveniles. There we go, that is in fact a pilot fish. So called because, well, they often are found along with larger creatures. And it kind of looks like they are piloting them to some extent. It provides them with some safety, but in some cases they also will be able to scavenge pieces that, like for example, a shark rips off something, they can also scavenge some of that. So it is kind of a, not a mutualistic relationship here, because both parties don't benefit. This is a commensalistic relationship, it seems, because the manta ray is not affected by the pilot fish being there, but the pilot fish gets a clear benefit by being safe because they are close to a bigger thing, and by potentially scavenging some food. So that's nice. That's two great benefits. Just need to take Cinnamon's food away before Memphis decides to eat it. But we're also here for these hammerhead sharks, and I think these are the scalloped hammerhead sharks, so called because you can kind of see in the front there the front part of the head there of the hammer kind of having a scalloped appearance or kind of indentation. So that will be the scalloped, the scalloped hammerhead shark. They're actually classified as critically endangered. They have dropped by, I think, 87% in numbers in the past 50 years, something along those lines. Tremendous drops. And one of the main things, of course, why they are disappearing is the hunt or fishing for their fins, for shark fin soup. And these ones, the sharks here, hammerhead sharks, especially these ones here, these scalloped ones, they're quite big. So they have got big fins, and they are one of the target species. So unfortunately, they are going extinct at a horrible rate. And yeah, we may not live to see them for much longer. Of course, they've got this weird hammer shape, and that is to actually pick up prey. Thank you, dear. My lovely, lovely wife has given me some hot chocolate, so yay. That is going to be delightful now. But yeah, so they will have a whole bunch of special sensors, I believe called the ampullae of Lorenzini. And those will be located all along, I think all along the mouth it is located, all along the head. But it has this incredibly high concentration along the edge of this hammer in front there. So that would indicate that they most likely use it to pick up electrical signals. Now, of course, instead of having their eyes behind the hammer, they have got the eyes on the hammer tips there, which is a nice adaptation. It also allows them to almost have 360-degree vision. So actually having it on stalks, in essence, allows them to see quite nicely around them, and that is an amazing adaptation. Now, these sharks should be worried, potentially, with the orcas being in the area, with the killer whales, even the dolphin here. You guys should be worried. Why are you not worried? Because orcas, being top of the food chain, they will hunt dolphins. As mentioned, there were some dolphins being hunted by the orcas in the area when I saw the orcas. They actually, like an hour or two before we saw the orcas, there were dolphins, like a massive pod of dolphins coming past. And then these orcas were definitely hunting them along the shore. But in South Africa, the orcas have learned to hunt great white sharks. And the way they do it is they only really go for the liver of the great white sharks. They have learned that if you flip a shark upside down, it kind of becomes catatonic. It just lies
Andre,
there.
are you seeing this?
This is amazing.
Is that a leatherback turtle?
That is a
I
leatherback
didn't think
turtle.
there were any left here.
What happened?
Egg poaching, and the nesting beaches got too warm.
Oh wow, look at that. So we'll get back to the orcas and the sharks in a moment, but look at this leatherback turtle. So the largest sea turtle alive. I mean, this is the closest we can get to the extinct Archelon, which was an amazing big turtle that lived during, I think, the Cretaceous period. Massive. They were even larger, I believe, than the leatherback turtle is now. But yeah, these ones, they feed almost exclusively on things like jellyfish. So quite squishy food. And to help them with that, they actually have got also inside their throat pharyngeal teeth, allowing them to grip onto the food, onto the jellyfish that they actually get in, so that the jellyfish can't escape. The problem is that they often mistake plastic bags for jellyfish, and then if they grab it, even if they realize that it's a plastic bag, not a jellyfish, they can't actually get rid of the plastic bag because, well, those pharyngeal teeth are pointing backwards and it holds onto the plastic bag, and in the end they've got to swallow it and either die from trying to swallow it, or they ingest it and it clogs up their stomach and they can die of starvation because their stomach is full, but it's full of things like plastic, which is really, really horrible. Now, unlike your other sea turtles, which will have a hard shell, it's the leatherback turtle because it actually has got a relatively soft shell. It can't really have a massive thick shell because it would make it too heavy, which means it wouldn't be able to really be swimming around like this. They need a lighter shell to actually swim around properly. Just going to scan. There we
Do you
go.
think your turtles are making a comeback?
We'd hope so.
I wish I could be optimistic. It's just as likely our turtle is taking the long route home to somewhere else.
So interesting mention there that the egg sites were being raided by humans, so poached. That is one of the major threats to turtles, or to sea turtles overall. Very often the nesting sites, they come back to the same beach every time. So the ones that they hatched, I believe they come back to the same beach as they were hatched. And then they're basically just easily targeted by poachers because they know, okay, right over here, the turtles will come in December. We can... Oh, that sunfish is... Oh, it's lying on its back. That's awesome. We'll get back to that in a moment now. But yeah, they can get the eggs of the turtle. Lots of eggs being laid by turtles. Very few of those eggs actually, when they hatch, those hatchlings will reach maturity. Most of them will die. But I mean, look at this. This mola mola over here, this sunfish, this ocean sunfish, is lying flat like that. And that is quite amazing. So this is kind of why they got the name sunfish, because they very often lie very close to the surface, even on the surface, with a part of them sticking out of the water. And they sun themselves, they sunbathe. Now there are a number of reasons why they may do this. It may be to actually get birds to come and pick parasites off them because, well, they have got a lot of parasites on them. But it could also be to actually heat themselves up so that they can dive into deeper water and still remain quite warm and able to move around, not cool down too much. So this one here is currently sunning itself, which is really amazing. Oh man, I would love to see a sunfish like this. Yeah, so also there with the turtles there, with the beaches getting too warm, it could result in the eggs actually not hatching, the eggs being too warm, basically cooking in the sand, because they bury the eggs and leave them, and then if the sand gets too hot, those eggs will not hatch, they will not develop, they will die in essence. That could be a bit of a problem for them. Let's see, Paleo Potato also mentions, think I remember seeing a video of a penguin jumping into a boat to escape from orcas. Indeed, I've also seen clips of seals jumping into boats to escape from orcas. They really are very effective hunters, and they will do their best. They will use ingenious strategies to try and get to prey.
Group survey. New or a repeat?
Okay, so we are going to scan this one again in a moment. But I've also seen videos of orcas learning that if a seal is on an iceberg, on like an ice float, like a piece of ice drifting on the ocean surface, they can actually make a wave that's big enough to push this seal off the ice, and then they hunt it. So nowhere is really, really safe. Also a news story the other year about a leatherback sea turtle near the islands east of Scotland. That is quite amazing. I mean, that's quite cold water for them. They generally are found in more tropical areas. They can sometimes come into colder waters. I don't really think we've got them here where we are on the southern coast of South Africa, because it is a little bit too cold for them, but we do find them on the east coast of South Africa, where it is in fact a bit warmer.
So glad to hear you. Those noisy neighbors silenced enough of your friends.
Yeah, so that one, we have scanned the song. Now we just need to find a way to the fluke. Come on. Well, come on. There we go. I need to maneuver it. I'm a little bit really battling with the invert
New whale!
controls.
We'll designate this one M4, because why mess with a good thing?
The sounds
Indeed.
don't sound like the prior song.
So it's probably a
These
visitor.
are more social sounds.
Oh, okay. There we go. Social sounds. Okay, so it's not a mating call. Instead, it is, hello guys, how are you all doing? That kind of call. A social call. Let's see. Now we've got to head out to that. In that direction. Right over there. I would love to see a leatherback turtle. I've never actually seen like a wild sea turtle at all. Occasionally we do have the young ones, the hatchlings, actually washing up on our shore. So they hatch in summertime, and then when the winter temperatures or the winter storms come along, they often get washed up. Here from March, they will get washed up on our shore. They're little ones. And then the Two Oceans Aquarium in Cape Town actually...
Feels like my birthday. And that buoy is my present.
There we go, yeah.
Hope it's better than my last birthday.
Dare I ask?
My sister got me jeans that were mine for about a week before they wandered off, never to be seen again. A mystery, I tell you.
Alright, but as I was saying, the Two Oceans Aquarium in Cape Town will then basically arrange to have them picked up there where you collected them along the south coast, transported to them, they rehabilitate them, or they just keep them safe until they're a little bit stronger, and once the worst of the storms have passed and they're a little bit larger, then they're able to be reintroduced into the wild, which I think is absolutely amazing. So it really helps some of the populations at least to recover. Now those are generally the more common species we've got around here, which is the loggerhead turtle. That's the most common one we've got around here. Occasionally I have seen photos of the hawksbill turtle. Also there was one that washed up last year, medium-sized one. Unfortunately it did not survive, but yeah, I haven't heard of any of the leatherback turtles actually being in this area, so it's a little bit too cold generally for them to be present here, as far as I know. Let's see, something in that area.
Did you not charge any of these batteries before you put the sensor in?
It's not a battery alarm, it's the drone.
Okay, bottlenose dolphins. And something over there. Oh, orcas again. Okay. Sure. Okay, we are, as I said, in the open ocean. As you can see, there's not a lot going on here. I mean, there are a few creatures here. Most of these would actually... Well, I say most of these. The mantas are filter feeders. Well... Oh, that's a whale shark. I was just about to say whale sharks would also be filter feeders, and you would find them perhaps in these areas. The mola, they kind of feeding on whatever they can find, jellyfish and stuff like that. And some of these fish would also be filter feeders. Let's see, what fishy have we got here? The sardinella. Okay. Ambligaster surm. So this is a typical bait fish, forming usually quite big schools. This is a relatively small school we've got here. And of course we've got another mola over here. And then, the star of the show.
That is definitely not a dead battery.
Yeah.
Unless we're using whale sharks as batteries now.
Hello, whale shark. Oh, the largest or longest cartilaginous fish in the world. The whale shark. Rhincodon typus. Rhincodon. I'm not sure what rhinco means, but don refers to tooth. So they would have batteries of little, not sharp teeth, And they don't need sharp teeth because they don't catch anything and tear them apart. Instead, they are largely filter feeders. They would be feeding on plankton, and they would be feeding on perhaps little small fish that they can also ingest. So they have, right over here in the front, you just look there, right in the middle of my circle there, that's where its eyes are. And they actually have like bony plates to some extent protecting their eyelids. So, not exactly sure why, but they have got that. Oh, this is a beautiful, beautiful creature. Almost looks like it has a second set of eyes though. With a small little indentation over there.
There's already a tag on it.
Then scan the tag.
Sure, like that was obvious. I'm leaving another tag.
New tag, okay. And let's see, have we got another tag somewhere? Maybe on the tail? I thought I saw something there. No, I was mistaken. Oh, here's a tag, here's a tag. Come on, Will. And there we go. Yes!
Much better than a dead battery.
They really are awesome. I would also love to see whale shark. We again don't really have them around here. The waters are a little bit too cold, although I do know there have been a few sightings, well, I say sightings, a few strandings of dead whale sharks in the area that I am at. I know of 2 or 3 strandings of whale shark in this area. So they're not very common at all around here. If you were to look for whale sharks, you'd find them mostly along the east coast of South Africa, extending to Mozambique in the warmer water there. That's where you would expect to find the whale sharks. Okay, so I see, Fire Duck says from Rink, irregular from Latin arena, a shark.
Always showing off.
Ah.
Hey Andre, can you make your manta drone do synchronized swimming?
Guess we'll see.
In essence, a shark tooth. Shark tooth. Shark tooth. Waha. We're just going to scan these little dolphins. Come on, bottlenose dolphins. Okay, and we've got to record the sound. I believe that central one in front now. Oh, this middle. One of you guys have been calling. Have you been calling? Come on, Manta Drone. We've got a job to do.
Let's log you in.
Whistles. Nope. Almost fell off my chair as I tried to adjust myself here. Very, very high-pitched whistles. The whistles will travel quite far. All of these whistles have got some meaning. I'm not very clued up when it comes to communication of dolphins, but look there, that snout, that rostrum, the front part of the snout is actually surprisingly short. I mean, that's where truncatus does come in there, the truncate snout, or the bitten off mouth there. Kind of looks bitten off, kind of. Alright. Also seeing from Rhiny, meaning rasp. Now, rasp would make sense, rasping teeth, because they don't really have sharp teeth, so they have more like a rasping type of teeth. So yeah. That would make sense then, Fire Duck. I think it's most likely from that. Are these the, almost said salmonella, the sardinellas again? Yes, indeed. Alright, I think then we're heading over to the orcas. Yeah, that'll be the last bunch of stuff to look at. Some more. I'm kind of hoping we can, after this, head on over to the deep sea vents, because I want to get into the deeper ocean, because you have some weird and freaky stuff down there. I mean, as I said, this is kind of a desert, and I don't really like spending too much time in the desert here. I like to look at stuff. Right, but while we are traveling over there, I'm going to have some more hot chocolate compliments of Nick. Hot chocolate, while it is still hot, is just perfect. Now, I don't know why we are drinking hot chocolate. Well, it was a surprisingly cool day. I was about to say, I don't know why we are drinking hot chocolate because it is winter, but it has been surprisingly coolish today. Had a bit of rain this morning as well, but goodness me, it was hot the past few days. So it's good that we're having a bit of a break with that. Okay, there are actually quite a few orcas. We've scanned these 2. I think we've probably scanned that one over there as well. Yeah, we have. I don't know whether we have scanned that one. That is kind of separate from the rest of the pod. Are you part of the pod, or are you a different individual? That's the question. Like a separate individual. Let's see.
Hello! I just met your friends.
Probably part of the pod. Okay, log weight and... Oh, there we go.
Are we sure no one's tracking them?
Nothing has turned up.
Okay. And then we're just going to record the sound as well here.
Hello, wait. Arena, do you think this one could be sick?
I'm honored you believe I could tell from this distance that my knowledge of disease extends to all species.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's so true. Sometimes people do assume that just because you know something about some creature, you know all things about all creatures, whereas that's not necessarily the case. Although, if you are an ecologist, you do have to kind of know a bit about everything. We really are generalists. I mean, ecologists overall, mostly, unless you really specialize in something, you are a jack of all trades. But not sure whether you guys know the full saying. I mean, I'm sure you have heard the saying "jack of all trades but master of none." That's only part of the actual saying. The full saying is "jack of all trades, master of none, still better than master of one." Basically saying that yes, if you are a generalist, you are not going to be as good in anything that you are doing as someone that specializes in that. But at the same time, you're not going to have to worry if the thing that someone is specialized in no longer is applicable. Let's say, for example, you are a very good person that studies the blue whale, and you know everything there is to know about the blue whale. If the blue whale goes extinct, do they even have a purpose still for you, or a function for you? Are you even relevant still? You are so specialized that you are no longer needed now. So that's the problem with being a specialist. Whereas if you are a generalist, you can just switch over to something else. If you, for example...
This dive location because you tracked the baby's pod out here?
I said they were heading in this direction.
If you're like a whale ecologist, you can work with a whole bunch of different species. You're not specialized in any one species, but you know a bit about everything, and you know you can switch over to some other species. In essence, that's what I'm getting at. So, jack of all trades, master of none, still better than master of one. We've got 4 pilot fish following this sharky over here, this scalloped hammerhead shark. We're just going to scan all of them. You see, this is the thing, sticking to the shark because, well, it is a vicious predator. So, you know, safety with a thing that hopefully is not going to eat you. Alright. Yeah, generalists do survive when specialists die in extinctions. That is also true. Like your generalists after the KPG extinction, when the non-avian dinosaurs, the larger non-avian dinosaurs went extinct, the more generalist, smaller species were able to survive. Indeed. Let's see here. Firedark also mentioned or reminds them of an episode of The Twilight Zone where the librarians were no longer needed because there were no more books. Exactly. Specialized in being a librarian, and if there's no more function for you, or no more use for you, you're like, okay, well, what's the point of it?
The buoy is glitching. I don't know what range you've set, but I think I'm hearing all the animals in the Pacific.
Yeah. Too many sound signals for the software to keep up.
I don't know what kind of party I'm crashing, but pretty sure I'm gonna love it.
Let's see. Oh, I see what we have got. Bait ball.
It's a bait ball.
It's a bait ball.
Humpbacks? Orcas?
Wow.
Very unusual, but everyone's gotta eat.
So here you
Are you
see.
safe down here?
I'll try not to be mistaken
Yeah.
for a fish.
Best is to not actually go into that bait ball, because if you do go into the bait ball, yeah, then you may accidentally be injured or swallowed to some extent. There was a guy a few years ago in South Africa that was diving close to a bait ball, and he was actually taken into the mouth of most likely a Bruder's whale or Bride's whale, or may have been a humpback whale like that one lunging in there, but I think it was actually a Bruder's whale or a Bride's whale, you know, depending on the pronunciation. The whale couldn't actually swallow him, so he kind of got into the ankles, and then the whale realized, oh goodness, I accidentally swallowing something else, and he spit him out again. But he was, for a few seconds, inside the mouth of a whale, and it was recorded on camera that he was actually like inside the whale. So you don't want to be in there. I mean, you can imagine like orcas coming in to hunt, and you're just like, you're like basically a seal in there. You're going to be screwed when they grab you. So we're just going to scan from a safe distance here. Oh, okay, I say, as I'm basically in the bait ball. There's the humpback whale. I need to scan that one there. So this is like an oasis in a desert. This bait ball is where everything is at. No cinnamon. Food is down there. So all the predators in the area, the fish, the birds, the gannets and so, they're flying and they realize there's a bait ball over there and all the commotion breaks out and everything hunts it. Now, usually what would happen, and this most likely happened here, is a lot of your whales, for example, and dolphins will herd the ball closer together. These fish obviously don't want to be eaten. They want to dive down. But the predators are constantly herding them from deeper below, like there you can see the orcas and the dolphins going below them, forcing them close to the surface. Once they're close to the surface, there will be gannets and petrels and stuff diving down from above to grab them. All the while they are trying to escape, but they're basically going to be, most of these are going to be eaten by the predators. They very often swim around as well. Humpback whales, in some areas at least, they will be blowing bubbles, like a bubble net they create to keep them in this tight ball. The idea being that you can lunge like that whale is doing there. You can lunge with your mouth open and get a lot of fish at the same time. You want to spend as little energy to get as many fish as possible. That's what you want. So this really is an amazing sighting. Oh man, it must be amazing to actually dive when there is a bait ball like this.
Being left out of the action.
They want leftovers.
Good luck to them. They're up against bigger stomachs.
Now, apart from these creatures, you'd also have things like sailfish and swordfish potentially, and a variety of other predators also coming in here. These are not the only ones you would actually get here. You would get any type of predator coming through, and dolphins, like in their hundreds, could take part in a bait ball attack like this. Okay, so there are 2 whales, it seems. 2 humpback whales actually in the area. And a few dolphins, including 3 orcas. We're just scanning as many of these as we possibly can. There we go, here's the last orca. Absolutely brilliant. Wow, what a sight to behold. Look, they're gulping in a whole bunch of fishies. Wow. And you can see this is quite close to the surface. I mean, these fish have been pushed closer. Eventually, as the ball dwindles, some of these fish will make a run for it and try to head to deeper water. If they can escape, then they can survive. But if they can't, they are going to be eaten by all the predators in that area. Oh, that's amazing.
Here they are. You were right, Andre. I guess I didn't just swim across the Pacific for nothing.
Yes. Alright, we found our sperm whales. Okay, zoom scan to deploy camera tags. Okay, that's what we're going to be doing now. Just kind of going to swim closer a bit. Hello, little whales. Okay, let's see, where do we deploy the tags? There we go, right over there. Okay. And where's that other one? Right over there. Now, they look slow, but they are surprisingly fast, especially when they really want to be. Currently, they are very, very chilled. There's no reason for them to dash away.
Fewer than before in this pod? Or am I just getting faster at tagging?
No, definitely fewer. But maybe the others are hunting.
Yeah, could be.
No, don't leave me. Well,
Oh, look
Mother
at that.
stayed with the baby this time.
Okay,
There they
ready
go.
for playback? I've prepared a coder you can activate from your dive watch.
Aha. Let's play a sound there at the rest of the pod. Let's see. Ooh. You guys are heading down. Oh, that's cool. Man, majestic, majestic creatures. Hello there. Let's play the sound.
First attempt to speak whale. Hopefully I won't offend her.
Yeah, seems to be kicking back.
Echo
That's
clicks.
cool.
I could feel it across my body, just checking me out.
That's
First
cool.
contact.
She zoom scanned you.
You have no idea what that felt like. She was looking right at me.
Wow.
Whew, you have no idea.
Beautiful. Alright, let's see. Dr. David Gruber, a marine scientist and explorer, said, "Sound is everything to whales. It's their hands. These are animals with the biggest brains on Earth and the most powerful sound apparatus." That's cool. Alright, I guess now it's time to talk again, and then hopefully we can go down to the deeper areas. Hello there, Justaberry. Welcome back to the stream. Glad you are back with us. we have been scanning the open ocean. It's kind of a desert. Oh wow, look, now there are suddenly lots of animals over here. But yeah, we did find a bait ball. That was quite cool. And now let's see what else we need to chat, or who do we need to chat to? There we go. So, message from Andre. Okay, Andre, what have you got to say?
Bad news.
Ah.
The drone we had tracking that intrusive noise, it's gone. Lost contact hours ago. I'll keep monitoring the hydrophones for that noise, but as of now, unless the drone resurfaces, that's all we've got.
That's sad. Okay. Irina, what have you got to say?
Hey, Mirai. I assume you've heard that Andrea lost the drone.
Yeah, bad break. Did we get any usable data from the drone before it went missing?
You'll have to ask Andrea. He hasn't given me an update. I think he's upset that I suggested we'd still have the drone if we used it for its original purpose.
It's crazy that we only have one mapping drone. If this were a space mission, we would probably have 100.
Lack of equipment.
Frustrated. Is that with Andre
The
or
real
the drone
problem.
situation?
Both.
That's a bit harsh.
Harsh. Andre really does have good intentions.
I just wish he wasn't so cold with me, just because I turned my prior research into a successful biotech business. Not every company is evil.
Let's just say it's nothing personal.
No, those miners have him agitated. It's nothing personal.
Hopefully that's true.
Was that a yawn? Did you get any sleep?
Not really. Between the drone and staying up to chat with my daughter, I spent most of the night staring out of my cabin window at the moon.
That does sound
Grandmother's
nice and
loved
very
taking
nice.
Free diving in the moonlight. It was magical. It's like the whole ocean glows.
Sounds like a fun grandmother.
She was. Is. She's alive, but suffers from dementia.
That is quite sad.
Sorry to hear that.
Thanks. Nana moved in with us after our mom died. I was 12. Ren was 4.
Are you and your sister close?
Yeah, not sure.
I'd like to think so, but she doesn't tell me everything. I think she doesn't want to disappoint me. Where is your daughter?
She's at university in the UK.
What is
And
she
we are
studying?
somewhere, I think, in
Pre-med.
the Pacific.
But she also has a passion for music. She has been playing in the same indie band for years.
What's her music like?
Hard to describe. I'm
Whole
sure
bunch
she'd
of conversation.
love for you to check it out. I'll send you her latest single.
Ooh.
Isn't your sister also at university?
My sister, took a break for a few years, but she's back now.
There's a story there. Not my business.
Okay, let's
She's had to deal with tough stuff.
try to carry on,
both
shall we?
have. I just seem to have an easier time adjusting.
Does she want your help?
Okay, maybe.
I don't think she wants her stuff to get in the way of my success.
You sound like me talking about my daughter.
Yeah, complex. People are messy. That's why I study whales. Speaking of which, I better get prepped for our next dive.
Thank you, Mirai.
Catch you later.
Let's
Yes, of
get
course.
to the end of, there we go, of this conversation. Finally, but I believe... Can we exit the helm? Because I don't want to keep on talking to people. If we can get back to diving. Let's have a look. Can we just... get back to the dive? No, I've got to finish talking to Rin as well. Okay, fine. Let's get back to the helm. Being forced to have conversations with people. I don't like that. Come on, let me dive. I want to dive. Rin, I'm making this phone call. Please appreciate it.
Hi, Mirai. It must be late there.
That's okay. I'm on dive time.
I showed Nana the highlights from your live stream.
Fire duck. Oh, that's a dad joke right there. Fire duck. Let's see. Did she like the whales?
Yeah? Did she like the whales?
It's hard to know. She did huff at the dolphins, though.
Yeah, figured she would.
I hoped that would get a reaction.
Not sure it was a good one.
Are you doing okay with her?
Kind of. You do this better.
Did you want to talk about next semester?
When you get back. It's complex.
You know, I can look at coming back earlier.
That's crazy talk. Go speak to your whales.
Speak to your whales.
Gonna try. Catch you later.
Alright, I think that's the end. Yes, now we can go and do our next dive. Thank you. Let's hope we can actually go into a deeper area now. Somewhere where there are some... Oh, wow, look at that. Look at the sunfish. Right outside here. So they have got some small fins here on the side of their body, but the main fins, of course, are the ones on the top of the bottom of the body. That's what they will be using for swimming, mostly. Really, really fast when it comes to swimming with that. What have we got that's on the table now? Sea turtle conservation research. That's actually a cool diagram they've got there. What they've got there is a way to reduce turtle bycatch. So when you've got a massive net being dragged behind a boat, if you're trying to catch fish, not trying to catch turtles, if you've got a massive net being dragged behind the boat, you are going to catch turtles. And if that net remains underwater for an extended period of time, the turtles will drown, and that results in the death of the sea turtles. Now, that's on top of all the problems the sea turtles are already facing. Things like plastic, accidentally ingesting plastic, or things like their nest sites being raided, the eggs being eaten by humans, or them being poached for their shells or for the meat. A whole bunch of horrible, horrible stuff resulting in their disappearance from the world. And now you've got fishing as well. But the idea here is that if you look from the left of that figure, you can see there's this contraption. And that contraption there, the sea turtle will come in and actually be forced out of the net. Whereas all the other little fishies, there's a grid basically, and all the little fishies will swim through that grid, but the turtle will be forced up and out of the net. That is a very nice way to actually reduce turtle bycatch, that's so cool. I love it that they actually have that in there as well. Alright, little small details that you sometimes pick up here as well.
Day 7. About to enter the Twilight Zone.
The Twilight Zone.
I'm following Andrea's family down to the seamounts, where I hope to observe them hunting. Irina has been testing our samples and is worried about a harmful algal bloom being somewhere nearby. Ooh. So I am to keep an eye out for that. Check. I'm also keeping an eye out for more turtles. I know they're out there.
All
ready
right.
to dive.
That's cool. Love the fact that we actually had leatherback turtle here as well.
I'm in and okay.
And we're streaming.
Hello, everyone.
All
Welcome,
right.
or welcome back. I'm diving near a seamount region, also known as the Twilight Zone, because it is just beyond reach of the sun. And we'll be taking some questions live, so be nice.
We'll also be testing a playback system to interact with whales.
This is very cool. So at this depth, you won't have a lot of photosynthetic organisms. No, Memphis. That's not your food, Memphis. I have to constantly monitor him. He is on a diet. He's not allowed to eat too much food. But you do have some organisms here that can survive in the deeper ocean. We've got a nice soft coral or fan coral over here, also consisting of a whole bunch of little polyps that will be filtering food out of the water. Kind of like, think teeny tiny sea anemones. Don't think we can scan it. No, we cannot. We have got another scalloped hammerhead shark here. Yes, indeed. And we are around about 400 meters underwater here, which is quite amazing. So let's say, could you also play Drunk on Nectar, the Isle, Path of Titan, Alien vs Predator game, Alien Campaign? There are quite a few things I will definitely still play. Unfortunately, time is, of course, a problem. Both Nick and I actually have the Isle. We had considered playing that at some point, but then the other awesome games also came out. Path of Titans, that has also been on my radar quite a bit to play a bit. But, you know, it's I need the money to actually buy games before I can play it. And that I've not been able to purchase that yet. Currently, I'm saving actually for the upcoming Monster Hunter Wilds game, which I will hopefully be able to play at the end of this month when that comes out. Now, let's see here. We've got some amazing big crabs. Spider crabs. So called because they kind of resemble spiders as they are walking around here with their very, very long legs. They are a typical scavenger here in the deeper water. And you'll find them from here downwards or into the deeper water. They can have, I think the largest one has a leg span, so from one tip to the other, of about 3 meters, which is incredible. Let's see. Ooh, are these guys bioluminescent? I think they are producing their own light. Looks like it. They've got a little bit of a light in front that they are creating. Let's see, what are you? Lantern fish? Flashlight fish. Okay, so that's what these guys are. catopron, split fin flashlight fish. So a lot of these fish would have little bioluminescent patches to either attract a partner or to attract food or to communicate with other individuals that, listen, I am right over here. And you can see these ones have it right below their eye. They actually have that. It could be to actually spot food, like a little flashlight. Not a very bright flashlight, but a little flashlight nonetheless. So as we now head into the Twilight Zone and go deeper, we are going to be finding a lot of bioluminescent organisms. Ooh, surely we've got swell sharks in this area as well. Could be. Look at these guys here. So, I'm not sure. This is not a Siphonophore. I'm wondering whether these are not a feather star, but they are some kind of filter feeder. And you can see there, all along that spiral, they're trying to filter out food particles. And it could be like copepods, little crustaceans that are trying to filter out, or maybe a teeny tiny little fish. But what a lot of these organisms will also be filtering out is the detritus rain coming from above. As whales, for example, swim above and they poop, a lot of that will filter down, all of that will filter down, break up as it falls deeper into the ocean. And by the time you get to this point, you can see all the gunk here sinking down. That is the detritus rain that we've got. And these little guys over here, these fans, will be filtering that out. That is an awesome critter right over there. A chimera. A silver chimera. I do believe they are a type of cartilaginous fish, but they're not a shark. Even though they are a cartilaginous fish, they're not a shark, not a ray. They are in a group all on their own. It's really awesome. Oh man, I love these guys. They're also found in deeper water. We have got, I believe, a chimera here in South Africa known as the St. Joseph's shark, even though it isn't actually a shark. So yeah, basically daddy long legs here, that's what these little guys are. The crab version of the daddy long legs. And again, you can see here even containers lying at the bottom of the ocean. Obviously, as containers fall overboard during storms above here, it will sink down to the bottom. It may eventually have a whole bunch of stuff growing on it. If it were in a shallower area, it may have had some coral growing on it. But in this deeper water here, I would not expect to find coral. You would find silver chimera here. And what is that? Is that... That is... Oh, is that an ammonite? No, no. Oh, that's a comb jelly. That is a comb jelly. Ovata, referring to ovate or elongated. So that's a type of cnidarian, like a little jellyfish basically, but not a true jellyfish as far as I recall. They are relatively unrelated, but they are still in the Cnidaria phylum. The phylum Cnidaria. That's quite cool. They, as you may notice there, they've got this little pulsating, colorful things moving along. Those are little cilia, I think those are. And they do that, or they move that around to actually move up and down in the water column, so to position themselves to actually get food. If I'm not mistaken, there are some comb jellies that they did studies on them, and they found that every time they have digested food and they need to poop, they literally create a new anus in their body. I may be speaking under correction, but I almost, little guys in the back of my mind with little boxes, you know, the files and stuff, they're telling me that I remember at some point comb jellies being the ones that there is some squishy thing in the ocean. I think it's the comb jellies that don't technically, if you look at it now, it won't actually have a butt, but if it needs to excrete waste, it will literally rip a new hole in its body, and there it goes, out goes the poop. So that is, if it is a comb jelly, that is cool. Even if it isn't the comb jelly, there is something in the deep ocean that does that, and I will in the below here afterwards, when I break this up into smaller sections, I will put there what that creature is that actually rips its own, or a new butt open every time it wants to, ooh, it wants to poop. Are these Humboldt squid? No, they're not Humboldt squid. This is a different type of squid. Very slow moving, as you can see here, because while we are in deeper water, you need to conserve energy as much as possible. But notice the bioluminescence there. Probably trying to attract prey. Big eyes, very big eyes as well. Dana octopus squid. Oh, yes. But you may notice there the big eyes. You know what? I think there we go. There is actually a photo mode. Let's see. Hide the UI. There we go. Big eyes there. And that allows them to actually spot their prey in the dark here that they are at below 400 meters. As you can see here, Twilight Zone, very dark. And they're able to spot their prey. Massive eyes. Deep ocean creatures, like the Dana octopus squid here, they will have big eyes to actually spot their prey. And even in the marine, or in the fossil record, you'll also find some ichthyosaurs that were most likely either nocturnal and or they were deep ocean dwelling. They actually had big eyes as well. Ophthalmosaurus, I think, was an ichthyosaur that actually most likely was a deep ocean hunting ichthyosaur or nocturnal, one or both of those two things.
Want to hear something cool? So do I.
In essence, they give themselves hemorrhoids. Yes.
A little message to our humpback friends.
That's right. Andre is going to serenade some humpbacks.
Let's do that, shall we?
Well, not me, but using a song I generated from other recordings.
Alright, so let's play that, shall we? There's a weird sound somewhere over there again. Unknown creature. We've got to go have a look at that. A humpback whale. What on earth is that? A sensor alarm. Okay. 3 more things to go visit. Now, what shall we do first? Let's go to this unknown creature. I want to see what this is. I want to know what we've got over here. We've got a whole bunch of drones here. It seems that they are part of the exploratory team looking for sites where they can actually mine metals, most likely for solar panels. Interesting here, the hammerhead shark moving quite slowly. They've got an incredibly high metabolism, so they actually need to eat quite a lot. And especially when they are young, they have a ravenous appetite, and if they don't eat, they die. So they need to eat quite a lot in order to just, stay alive. That's a pilotfish again. Yeah, there we go. Pilotfish and another ocean sunfish. The mola mola. The name's so nice, you say it twice.
Turtle, Andre. And feasting on some moon jellies.
Ooh.
That is odd. Is that the same one we saw before?
It looks bigger.
Look at
but
that.
Let me zoom scan it to be sure.
Look at that. I do want to see when it opens its mouth. Can we actually go in? Oh, look at it tearing it apart. No. I wanted to actually see when it opens its mouth. Can we see the pharyngeal teeth? Did they design the animal that well or not quite? Let's have a look. So the moment of truth, and let's see if we can actually have a look inside. No, okay, we can't see inside the mouth. So technically in the throat there would be some back-pointing pharyngeal teeth. So basically teeth-like structures in the throat itself. Oh, beautiful, beautiful creature. Okay, let's scan this little one. Oh my word, we've got lots of jellies over here. Lots of moon jellies. Okay, let's have a good look at this one closer. Think of the top here. There we
I can run
go.
a sample in the lab, but I am sure this is a different one.
Do they typically travel together? Wouldn't it be surprising to find 2 this far off course?
Yes, it would be.
And yet, here they are.
Yes.
Welcome back, turtles. Enjoy your beautiful moon jellies.
Yes. So lots and lots and lots of jellyfish here for the leatherback turtle to actually be feeding on. We're just scanning as many of these as we possibly can. Not sure how bad these ones are in terms of stinging us as humans. I have not thus far been stung by a jellyfish. I've been stung by a bluebottle, which is also a type of Nigerian. Like 2 Decembers back was the first time I was actually stung by one of those. I had gone 30 years actually 33 years without being stung by one. And then on my 33rd birthday, I was stung on my ear and my neck. We were snorkeling, Nick and I went snorkeling, and yeah, the wind was blowing. It had pushed some blue bottles. Oh, that's a John Dory. That is also a nice eating fish. Quite characteristic, the big spines and the black dot on its side there. Oh, that's cool. Love a John Dory. I've never eaten John Dory, but we do have a restaurant chain here in South Africa known as John Dory's. The orange roughy. Oh, nice. Also, quite big eyes with these orange roughy. A lot of these fish, again, would have quite big eyes to actually see in the dim light that we have over here. Is that another? That's another spider crab, and another one, another comb jelly, and another spider crab. So lots and lots of scavengers here, and lots of things like the comb jellies feeding on the detritus rain coming from above. So that's the one spot, and then there's also the whale over there that we need to go and have a look at. Alright, let's go do this first, and then we'll go to the whale to see what we can figure out there. Oh man, I really would expect some swell sharks in this area. Or maybe not. Ooh! There's a nice octopus right over there. That's something new. Now, being in the deeper water, this is a different one, I think, from the... It's not a common octopus, is it? It is! Octopus vulgaris, what are you doing this deep? Surely the common octopus shouldn't be this deep. Maybe they are this deep, I just didn't realize they can actually be this deep. Alright, let's still have a look. We're supposed to go over there. Now, there would, of course, be a whole bunch of other species as well. Oh,
Looks
there we
like
go.
they're hunting.
Lanternfish.
Well called,
Lanternfish.
Arena. We'll make you a sea witch yet.
I'm sorry, a what?
Let's scan a few to pick up their hunting behavior. Here goes.
Let's see, if we just switch the lights off, you can kind of see why they are lanternfish. You can see them glowing. And they've got bioluminescence on their underside. Again, kind of counter-shading. Looking from below, those little spots there, especially at night, will look like stars. It will be very, very difficult to actually see them from below, especially at night, when they would be most vulnerable. But even having it during the daytime, I mean, looking from deeper below here, if we were to look up, okay, now we can't see them, but as we get closer, the bioluminescence there kind of makes it more difficult to see them from below, because the lighter color now, again, blends with the lighter backdrop. That's
Scott
really
from
cool.
Denver wants to know if they eat each other.
Some do. I think this one was upset he missed out on his prey.
Let's see another one over here. Alright, so in this case, they're hunting the lanternfish. Quite a few of these Dana squid. But also, you know, the lanternfish here being very much like a bait ball we just saw in the previous dive. Just a little bit lower down. They don't generally come right up to the surface, except perhaps at night. Most of the day they would actually be deeper down and out of reach of things like most typical orcas and dolphins and stuff like that hunting. Penguins might be able to get to them if they are in an area which actually has penguin colonies. And of course the Dana squid over here can also get them. Oh man, these are cool. You can kind of see them darting forward to grab onto the lanternfish. Let's see if we can see, because being a squid, they should be grasping them with the arms. Come on, I want to see you guys hunt. There's that one is going to hunt up there. Looks like it. Are they going to... No? And there we go. It was grabbing that one right over there. So cool to see. Are you going to... Which one of you would be hunting next? There we go. That one shooting forward and grabbing... Oh, that was a quick dart past us. They are able to very, very quickly actually dart forward. Mainly, if you look, we press F1 here. You see that siphon right in the center there underneath. Looks kind of like a jet engine outlet pipe. Well, that there, they can very quickly force water out for a bit of jet propulsion. So it allows them to very quickly dart backwards in essence. But the problem is that you are darting blindly. You don't know exactly what is behind you. So you're kind of like darting. It is your kind of last ditch effort to get away from a predator that you can see in front of you. Of course, if something is coming up behind you, you're kind of screwed. You're not going to spot that and you are going to be eaten by that. But it is a very quick and nice way to try and escape from predators. Alright, let's head on over to the humpback whales, which are right over there somewhere. And let us see what we can find there with them. Yeah, we were just here a moment ago, here by the sensor. Let's have a look. I love it. I definitely need to do another live stream of Beyond Blue, because we are going to have to go into the deeper ocean as well, into the brine pools, or to the brine pools and all those. So I will in future be doing another live stream at some point of Beyond
Time to
Blue.
see if any humpbacks respond to our song.
Jordan wants to know how you will know.
Great question. If we have recorded him before, we'll see if the influence of our song affected his.
Scientists believe whales from one region can influence the song of whales from another when they mix.
Kind of learning the tunes of someone else. Learning a new song.
Hey Andre, we've recorded a song from this one before.
Yeah,
right?
M1.
We have.
How quickly can you compare his two songs?
Well, I need to wait for his song to complete at least one full cycle.
And how long is that?
20 minutes, maybe.
Wow, that's quite a long song.
That's a long, slow ballad.
Indeed. That's beautiful. Alright, okay. In the meantime, while we're waiting for that, we can actually head on over to that acoustic recorder up ahead. So acoustic recorder is really, really useful. We use that for bats, we can use it for birds, and of course you can use it in the marine environment as well for things like dolphins and whale songs. It allows you to actually survey what species are in an area, and potentially also the abundance, how many individuals there are in an area as well. I've used it for birds. I've not used it for bats. You need a special one to actually detect bat calls, and you need a special one to actually be submerged in the ocean to record the marine creatures singing and making sounds. Okay, let's have a look here. We've got another beeping sound over there, a sensor alarm. There's also another sensor alarm. Two sensor alarms. Oh. Alright, while we are heading there, let's head deeper. Let's see what we can find on the ocean floor here. Just still, you can see very few
I've been waiting for this.
things growing here.
I've just activated your UV light.
Ooh!
First of all, don't mess with my suit when I'm diving. Secondly, you spoiled my surprise.
There we go. Look at that. That is a swell shark. I know that because swell sharks are known to biofluoresce. Or to do... Yeah, it is biofluoresce. Yeah, they basically glow. Their bodies glow under a specific wavelength. So they've got compounds in their skin. It's only their skin. So in this case, the glow is literally skin deep. And if you just look at it, like in normal light, that's well camouflaged. I mean, the patterns there, that's disruptive camouflage. So that if it is actually lying on the shelf over there, which they very often will do, they will lie still, they're very well camouflaged. But they still want to spot one another, and they can be surprisingly sociable, actually sleeping very close to one another. And to spot one another under a certain wavelength that they can pick up, they will look like that. That's how they spot, that's how they appear to one another. And that is absolutely magnificent. The question is, why on earth are they called the swell shark? Are they swell? Are they really awesome? Do they live in an area with a lot of swell, with big waves and stuff? Or do they swell up somehow? The answer is C. They swell up. It is their defense mechanism. If they feel threatened, they will curl their tail around, kind of grip onto that, and then they inhale water, and they can double their size. So they can get quite big. And they do that in order to then make it difficult for something to actually eat them. And I think that is absolutely amazing. Alright, so we are going to just quickly scan this swell shark over here. So this is under... Come on, under normal light. Oh, I need to actually... I need to put the light on. I can't just go into darkness. There we go. Now I can scan it. Under white light. There we go. Thank you. Change to violet, and let's scan that
sharks
as well.
have developed biofluorescence to communicate with each other. Their eyes have special adaptations for the UV light. Now you can see what a swell shark sees.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so we scanned the one. Where's the other one? I mean, this is the one we scanned, right? Yeah, I think this is the one we scanned. Where's the other one? That's now the question. I don't see it. There's this one. Oh, I think there's one swimming over there as well. Hello, Cinnamon. Yeah, there we go. There is another one. So let us grab this. And just quickly photograph it. I think they may have different patterns based on, you know, or each individual may have a different pattern in terms
Next, you
of
can try the black
biofluorescence.
light I installed in your sub.
You did not. You did install it in your dorm room back in the day. Your wife showed me pictures.
Well, uni was a good time.
Black lights are amazing to pick up certain things. I use it for picking up scorpions, not for picking up other things. Although certain bodily fluids do also biofluoresce under UV light. But I use it to pick up scorpions quite easily because they also fluoresce under UV light, which is quite amazing. Okay, we're just getting a whole bunch of the same creatures, the comb jellies and the deep sea, these crab spider or spider crabs. We've got something, that's another comb jelly again. Okay, now we are supposed to head over to that sensor over there. But yeah, it's really, really cool that these swell sharks, I mean, look at that, it's actually hanging quite still here. Doesn't want to spend a lot of energy or expend a lot of energy. It's not very fast in this case because it takes a lot of energy to move fast. And they would rather not, you know, they would rather just conserve energy because you never know when there's going to be food coming your way. Okay, but we were supposed to head down to this spot over here. Let's see what we can actually find down here. Oh, a cave.
What am I looking for here?
Oh, one of our sperm whale tags must have fallen off.
Andre, you really need better glue for these.
I don't use glue.
Interesting. Okay, so let's
I've tracked down the
collect
tag.
this.
It's in a cave. I wonder how it got in here.
I'm guessing octopus. Because they would be very inquisitive and may actually try to grab something strange and bring it down. There we go, there's an octopus indeed.
Oh, what the?
And
Why?
ink.
An octopus.
Are you okay?
Other than getting inked in front of a live global audience?
You know, you might want to get that off you. It will probably attract predators.
I don't know whether it will attract predators though.
Oh, wonderful.
I mean, the ink of an octopus is a deterrent, and very often octopus will actually secrete, or can secrete, two different types of ink. One like this puff to try and disguise where they're heading to, so like a smoke screen in essence, and one more sticky ink that actually kind of ensnares to some extent and gets stuck on the predator. So I have seen both those types of ink secreted. One of my students last year during a practical caught an octopus, and it actually secreted that more sticky ink. And it was amazing to see this strand of ink in the water. It's the first time I had ever seen that. Up until that point, I had only seen the
Okay,
typical
last boy
puff
of the
ink.
dive. How are you feeling?
Chances of suit holding out until the end of the dive? Good. Hoping seeing if our humpback song had any effect, well...
You know this, but for the viewers, science is not magic. It takes patience.
Yes.
I'd like to believe in a little magic.
Alright, let's see what happens when we play the call. Oh, okay, oh, we are scanning for stuff. What are we scanning for? Something there. Okay, unknown sensor, and again, something right above that as well. Sperm whale over there as well. Let's go have a look. First the sperm whale, and then I guess the sensor. Alright. We're making quite good progress. There we go. There is a sperm whale, and there are
Sperm
some
whale. I think it's...
Dana squid.
Yes, it's hunting!
Yes.
First time we'll be able to document it with Andre's technology.
Okay, so let's get a close-up view here of it. There's its call. Most likely trying to detect with the echolocation where the food actually is.
Come on.
There we go.
come on.
Echolocation clicks.
And then the buzz. I got it!
Amplified with that
Raj from
spermaceti.
Mumbai wants to know, what's the buzz?
I think he was making a joke.
Got it. But what is the buzz? How is it used?
We're not entirely sure, but definitely associated with being close to prey.
This is just the warm-up. The real fun will come in
Oh
the
yes.
deep.
That's where they mainly hunt, is in the deep waters. More than 2 kilometers under the surface. That's where they can actually go and hunt as well. So up to that depth is where they hunt. So are you going to... It doesn't look like it's actually hunting the Dana squid. It wants to. Dana octopus squid. Okay, but currently it's just kind of hanging around here. So that echolocation then is of course to actually detect where the food is, and as they are getting closer, they would most likely give a specific sound that really pinpoints where the target is, where the prey actually is, and that's the buzz, I guess. Okay, wait, where are we? We are... For some reason... I'm not picking up... Oh, zoom scan for tag and biosample. Okay, somewhere we've got a tag. We've got some more of these chimeras. The silver chimera. Phantasma is a scientific name. It's a species name. They're Phantasma. Ghost. I believe they're also called ghost sharks, if I'm not mistaken. Even though they're not true sharks. They are in a group all on their own. So we are supposed to be over here somewhere. Oh, look at that!
Andre.
Baby turtles.
Well, there's no way these little ones are thousands of miles off course.
So they must be breeding here.
Right, Andre?
Give him a minute.
Right. Let's scan a few of these to get their gender. There's a tiny tag here. Andre?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, they're adorable little critters, these. So they would have to grow
Jen
very
from
quickly.
Shanghai wants to know why you care about their gender.
Well, their sex is determined by the
Exactly
temperature
that.
of their nests. Warming beaches wiped out the turtles in this region.
Believe in a little magic now, Andre?
I may just start, but let me check on that tag first.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so as mentioned, the turtles, the sex is determined by the temperature of the sand that they're incubating at, or the temperature of the egg that is incubating. And you find the same with things like crocodiles, which also the sex of the young crocodile, baby crocodile, the developing crocodile is determined by the temperature at which it incubates. In turtles and terrapins and tortoises, the warmer eggs will hatch as females. So those will be the eggs that are closer to the surface of the sand. Those will hatch into females. And the ones that are deeper in the cooler sand, those will develop into males, and they will be males. In crocodiles, it's the other way around, with the warmer ones, or the ones closer to the surface, being males, and the ones that are incubating at a deeper depth and cooler temperatures, those will then be female. So it's interesting though that with turtles and terrapins and tortoises and then crocodiles, it's reversed. And here comes the sperm whales again.
Oh, wow. Glad we didn't miss this.
Coming back from their hunt. That is cool.
Yeah, they must have been hunting down past the rift.
I think we found our spot for our first deep dive.
Oh, that's
Mirai,
nice.
check out that one closest to you. What's that on its skin?
Oh
Not sure I
no.
can catch them. They're headed to the surface.
Mm.
Might just be a scrape from a ship strike.
Yeah, let's hope that's all it is.
Eesh. Ship strikes are unfortunately a horrible
Let's end it
thing.
here.
It happens with whales, and if they are close to the surface and a a boat comes along, the propeller of the boat can gash the back of the whales, which of course can result
I know
in
it seems
a whole
like
bunch of
Andre
bad
worries
things.
about everything. But I really understand where that
Mhm.
comes from. Everyone's seen the pictures, but I can tell you it was really tough to be doing hands-on work when we were losing entire species.
Yeah.
For me, it was the whales. But for Andre, it was the turtles. I stayed to help him. Several of the other scientists did as well. By then, only Andre's protected nests were the ones producing turtles in the region. We all figured that the population was going to collapse, and eventually it did. But seeing this large man spend day after day carrying tiny turtles from the nest to the water, it inspired us to stay. coming back now, it feels like another world. Andre is not an angry man, Irina. He's just a man who gets angry when he sees people say it's too hard, or that they don't care at all.
Yeah.
Alright, so, in essence there, if we're looking at what Andre did there with the baby turtles, caring for the nests, protecting the nests, and then trying to actually get them to have all those little baby turtles released into the wild. That's in essence what is happening at a lot of these areas where the turtles are breeding. Trying to conserve the beaches where they breed, trying to monitor to see whether the rising temperatures around the world are affecting them and affecting the sex ratio, male to female, and whether they're trying to get as many of these babies to actually hatch, many of the eggs to hatch as possible, and then release them into the wild. Because even if they do hatch, usually there are lots of predators around that will try to eat them, and every single one you can just get off the beach into the ocean is one that now has a chance to eventually breed and come back. So it's amazing the work that is being done to conserve the breeding sites of the turtles around the world, and especially in areas where things like leatherback turtles are breeding. In Mozambique, for example, and northern South Africa and northeastern South Africa, they've done some amazing job protecting the beaches where they hatch or where they breed, and then just trying to get as many of them as possible into the ocean and get them to potentially, in some cases, keep them for a little bit and then release them where they're a little bit larger, a little bit stronger, and less likely to be eaten by the first thing that heads their way. And yeah, just trying to conserve them. It's quite amazing. Alright, but I think this is actually the point where we are going to be calling it a night every day, everybody. So we're just going to exit the helm for now. I will eventually be coming back to this game as well, to Beyond Blue, and we will be carrying on and seeing what else we can find as we head then into deeper waters. But for now, thank you very much everyone for joining me on our little oceanic endeavor over here and adventure. We will be back, Nick and I, hopefully on Saturday for another live stream. It will either be Ark Survival Ascended or maybe a bit of Icarus, depending on which one works with us. We will not be live streaming next Sunday. We've got a birthday that we are attending, and we don't know how long that's going to last. So on Saturday, Nick and I will be live streaming, hopefully again. But I will make a post of that on the channel. And thank you for tuning in, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. I had a lovely time, and I will see you all again soon. And until then, stay safe. Cheers, guys.